Anticipation.
And we are live here on Plus One EXP's Roll for Content channel. My name is Tony Vicenda. I'm Chief Alchemist here at Plus One EXP, and we're a weird little brand that multi-classes in tabletop game design, beard and skincare alchemy, and the Bardic College of Content Creation. Our hope and desire is to help amazing designers find great players who love their games, and help amazing players find great designers whose games they could love. We do that in a lot of different ways, but hands down, my favorite one is to just sit down with those designers and play their game. Tonight, we are playing Don't Tell Mom and Dad. We actually have the two designers here with us. I keep on wanting to call Ben Bill so that I can say Bill and Ted, but that's not it. It is Ben and Ted. Ben, Ted, why don't y'all go ahead and introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about Don't Tell Mom and Dad.
Hey guys, I am Ben Maz. I will be our guidance counselor for the evening. Thank you all for signing on. Ted, you want to introduce yourself first?
Sure. So I'm
Co-creator.
Ted Gilbert. I'm one half of the development team behind Don't Tell Mom and Dad. I am also, in addition to a game developer, a writer, zine maker, graphic designer. My other major project is Lunch, a VHS-centric fanzine that celebrates the golden age of the home video era, and with reviews and articles and things like that. And that's between that and Don't Tell Mom and Dad, I have most of my time occupied right now. And you can, I guess, find me on Twitter as well at Ted V. Gilbert. Really excited to get this game going.
Pro Boy Gaming 1234 says, "Hi, Dad."
Hey, Oliver.
And so, awesome. Let's meet. Ben, why don't you tell me a little bit about the game that we're about to play? Don't Tell Mom and Dad.
Okay, yeah, we are about to play Don't Tell Mom and Dad, which just got funded on Kickstarter, thanks to wonderful people like you guys. It is a retro aesthetic RPG that we describe as a fantasy RPG for big kids only. Essentially, together as a group, for the sakes and purposes of this, we already have a town made up, but everyone as a group would make a hometown together that you are bound by, that is your only area, so you're not traveling all over the world and whatnot. And then everyone who's playing makes a kid between the age of 7 and 15 and pick what neighborhood they're from, whether they're from the gated community, the middle class cul-de-sacs, or the trailer park. And through several kind of rounded different ways, you would pick the type of kid you are, and together you will try to save the town from the evil mystery that I am cooking up for everyone.
Awesome. I'm super excited about it. I'm looking forward to playing. In the middle of a whole bunch of other stuff today, it was really easy to actually sit down, pick through the options, make a character. There were tons of choices, but you're playing as kids, so y'all kept it really simple, and I'm super excited to dive in. But before we do that, let's meet our other player for the night, and that is Campbell. Campbell, tell people who you are, what you do, where they can find you online if you desire to be found online.
If I desire to be found online, well, my name is Campbell Kennedy. I'm a game red heart. I've been playing role-playing games and wargaming for about almost all my life, so about like 6-7 years old. Mage the Ascension is my real jam, but it's always great to branch out and do other things. I can be found, well, if you just search my name, you'll find me. There aren't that many Campbell Kennedys out there in the world. I do have a very small YouTube channel called SJ Thunder Warrior. Look that up. I have a couple of videos up. Hasn't really been active. Pandemic just kind of ruined my motivation for everything. But I am really happy and really excited to be playing with y'all tonight.
And if you want to talk with Campbell about a bunch of really cool games, he and I both hang out in the I'm Begging You to Play Another RPG community, which is how we connected. Mm-hmm. It's a great place to hop in. So we actually have a bunch of beggars in the chat tonight, I know, also, too. So both from the Facebook group as well as from the Beggar Talk community. So if you want to chat with either of us, hop in there. I also can't ignore the fact that we did see Ben pull a beaker of liquid over in the middle of Campbell's introduction and take a long drink out of it. That was pretty. What flavor is it? It's blue, ladies and gentlemen.
It's blue, exactly.
So,
it's blue. It was a gift. This was actually a gift given to me for this by my nerdy uncle, who is the reason that I play these games, because when I was 9 and went into his bedroom at a family party, I reached under his bed and did not pull out a nudie mag, but pulled out the monster manual for the original D&D that I literally opened up and was like, oh my God. And he's just nerdy enough to drink from a beaker himself, and he, handed me one when I was at his place the other day.
And that's where the under the bed mechanic came from in this game also too,
Absolutely.
I bet. So awesome. Yep. Well, we're going to dive in just 1 second. By the way, if you want to go retweet this, let people know we're doing it, share it to any groups you're part of out there, audience, please feel free to. We would love to have some people come and help discover the game. If you want to track the game, if you want to look at what's happening on Kickstarter, if you haven't backed it already, or even if you have, there's a link right below my face that'll take you right there. You can just type it in. I'll also drop it in the chat, or if you're watching over on Facebook or YouTube, it's in the description right now. You can just click on it, go check out the game also too. It's already funded, but would love to have your support for it also too. With that said, we use a couple of safety tools here on the channel as a norm. There's also one baked into the game that we're going to use also too. But those are lines, veils, and the X card. So lines are things that may happen in the world of the game, but don't happen in the course of our game. They're things that are kind of off limits. The line that we always have here on the channel is no sexual violence. The veils are things that may happen in the course of our game, but we don't dwell on them. We don't get explicit into the details of them. We mention them as they come up, and then we move forward. And then the X card is the ability for any of us at any point in time to say or type or indicate X. We'll pause the game. We'll identify what the issue was, and then we'll move forward in a different direction, avoiding that issue from that point on and play. There's not an explanation necessary. We just want to know what it is so that we can avoid it. With that said, beyond the one that we've established, and we can also add more later on, are there any lines or veils that anybody wants to add to the game?
Yeah, please let me know. I'm an open book personally. I will keep it.
I'm all right.
Yeah.
Cool. And again, if things come up in play, we can always come back to it and just say, oh yeah, I don't like X. I don't like that. Let's not do that. A lot of the conceits I know are like hyper. It's like kid level hyper realism. So there is violence, there is injury, there is other things like that. There's not necessarily peril, but there will be some violence. And we're also going to set a rating level because that's what the game has you do. Typically our channel is PG-13, but we'll dip back and forth. But does that sound like a good level for everybody to start?
Yeah, we will totally make that happen.
Cool.
Yeah.
If we decide to go dark, hard R and C-17 at the end, we can always come back to that. But
you give me the signal and I'll pull the cord.
Like, wait, this is actually just a setup to a horrible franchise that children can't watch. Awesome. Hey, we just had a bunch of people join us for playing Don't Tell Mom and Dad. We just went over some safety things. Ben, I'm going to hand it over to you to take us into the game.
Okay, well, first things first, I want to know, and I would like for everyone who is watching to know, some simple basic facts. And now there's lots of different key factors that make all of you as children very specific and unique. But I would like for you guys to go down the line. We can start with you, Ted, and I'd like to know your name, your age, what style you are, whether you're jock, nerd, rascal, or weirdo, and what neighborhood you're from.
So I'll be playing Vincent Erlenmeyer, who's a weirdo, age 11, and lives in the gated community. What else, did that cover everything you asked?
Yeah. Oh, and the last thing for everyone is, what rumor is there about you? That will be the thing we want to disclose.
And Ted, tell me your character's name one more time. I'm sorry.
Vincent Erlenmeyer.
And you are an 11-year-old weirdo from the gated community. And what precedes you?
People have heard that I almost suffocated after blowing a bubble bigger than my head.
Oh, embarrassing. All right, Campbell, how about you, bud?
Okay. My character's name is Jasper Beaufort. His age is 12. His style is a rascal, and he's from the cul-de-sac. And the rumor is that he totally destroyed a bathroom at his old school with a marker. Marker and like barrels of paint.
Okay.
When you started to say he destroyed the bathroom, I wasn't entirely sure where you were headed with that.
Yeah.
In many directions. I was going to say cherry bomb, and you were so there you go. There's 3 different. How about you, Tony?
Well, Scissor Splits wants to know, is a beard a requirement to play Don't Tell Mom and Dad? I would say it's a feature, not a bug, but I don't think it's a requirement. And so I am playing, what dumb name did I write down on my character sheet? Durgus Mackerson. So goes by Mac to his friend's first name, Durgus.
Okay, Mac.
And he is a 13-year-old jock from the cul-de-sac, specifically a lacrosse player, known for his intense speed. Also runs track in the off season. There's a rumor about me that I once skitched across town on the freeway.
Nice.
Okay, so then that'll give us one more thing for us to lay down for everyone, and then I'll start to get us into it. So you skitched across town on the freeway. Was that on a skateboard or rollerblades, or what are your wheels?
I'm on a skateboard.
Awesome. How about you, Campbell?
I have a BMX.
Awesome.
I think it's like a silver mongoose kind of thing.
I had a silver mongoose.
Yeah, it's either going to be a silver mongoose or a Kent, one or the other.
How about you, Ted?
I'm a skater. I've got a stylish old school skateboard, and I'm a smooth rider.
Okay. Skateboarders here. One is kind of yeah, because I'm going to say somewhere between the school, from school to the arcade and department store, there's a couple sick gaps, rails, and you guys are used to, thrashing it about on your skateboards. And then, a couple weeks later, after you guys found this place to break in, we had Jasper started showing up on his silver mongoose and started getting some real height on that gap there.
Pegs.
Doing yeah, exactly. He's getting it down. And you guys started to actually really start to become closer as this happened, because as you guys are skating and you're making conversation and stuff, you start to ask each other about these rumors that you're hearing around town, in which these fat, fluffy house cats are starting to disappear. First, it was you guys in the cul-de-sacs starting to be like, hey, little Susie's big calico cat named Whiskers, like no one's seen it in a while. And then Ted's realizes that there's, in the gated community, there's been these posters that have been set up, like right when you enter the gates. And it started with 1 cat, and then it became 2 cats, then it was 3 cats, and these cats are missing. No one's ever seen them again. It's not that like, oh, they've been hit by a car or they're dead or whatnot. But it started to really hit home when Vincent, your all black cat Spike, has not been around in 2 to 3 days. And you're starting to get really worried. So when the last day of school hit, everyone else started flooding the streets, hitting the arcades, hitting all the shops in towns. But you guys decided to make a pact. And before school came together, you were going to try to save. I'm going to have to learn your guys' names. Like, don't forget, you're trying to save Vincent's cat and make sure that no other cats go missing. And for the weirder reason, why? Why are these cats going missing? So I'd like to start this game at the clubhouse. And typically, after a town is made, everyone as a group makes a clubhouse together. So if someone has a really, off the top of their head, a really good idea for what they think with the clubhouse, I don't want to bog us down right away, I can throw a spot at you. But if you guys have ideas, now this can be anything from a tree house, like, in the woods. It can be a old rusty RV on blocks in the junkyard. It can be this skate gap that you guys are skating at. We can give you the ability. This is an area in which you can hide and store items. You know that if you guys get split up and danger happens, you can always meet back up here. You can leave messages for each other. It's basically your little safe haven that no one knows about but you guys.
Awesome. The mall near where I grew up, which now is getting turned into something that's not a mall, apparently had a set of drainage tunnels that had a large like empty alcove in them where all kinds of horrible things apparently used to go down, but also would make a really cool spot for kids to hang out. That's my pitch off the top of the dome.
I love that. We could make that at the quarry if you guys want, somewhere around the quarry, or like between the candy factory and the quarry, somewhere in that area. Or we could, because we don't actually have a mall in this town, but we could make it by the department store. If anyone else wants to come up with a spot, this is for you guys here.
Yeah, I think the candy factory, between like the candy factory and the quarry, would be cool, because like you would have the like industrial like runoffs stuff from the candy factory.
Yeah, you're so close to something so awesome, but really you're sitting in a pile of dirt in these tunnels.
Yeah, we get all the like.
Love it.
Cast off.
I love it.
And stuff like that. Yeah.
So you guys are there kicking rocks. As you're sitting around, starting to put A and B together, you're trying to figure out what's happening. You are noticing that since it was the last day of school earlier, there are kids all over the town. They're littered everywhere. They're at the fast food place. They're at the arcade. They're in and out of the department store. Kids are running around all over. It seems like today the kids rule the town. So yes, let me know. Enter you.
So I'm. What are the leads that I have that Vincent's got on their missing cat right now?
So what you have more than the cul-de-sac kids is you know that at the edge of your neighborhood there's actual paperwork with information, personal information about the houses and cats that have been gone missing at the edge of the gated community.
Wow.
Nice.
So that's your biggest lead as of right now.
So
other than that, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm going to suggest that we go check this out and try to cover this information. Absolutely.
Yeah, try and see if there's some kind of pattern to where all these kitties are going.
Yeah. So you guys just going to straight shot across town, start to book it?
I think
yeah, let's do it.
Awesome.
You're like telling Mac that Mac's like already like dropping onto the skateboard like you're halfway through.
Awesome. Yeah. So yeah, like I said before, as you guys are blowing through town, like this is basically like recess. It seems like it doesn't seem like there's many adults around. It seems like the kids are running free. As you're passing the fast food restaurant, you notice that there's a couple kids bursting out of the doors with big bags of fries and fries flying out everywhere as you hear a guy being like, "Hey, you didn't pay for those." And moving past the department store, you've got a whole group of kids gathered out front. They're all making plays for what they think they want to maybe grab in the store and gank and run out. As you pass the arcade, that is the biggest show of all, where there is rock and roll music blasting. There are groups of kids in cliques out front. There are the buzzing and blipping of video games are cruising. It seems like it's a louder volume than usual. And right as you pass by the arcade, and you guys, obviously, this is like the epicenter of cool in your town, you slow up a little bit, and just as you're passing by, you guys are definitely on a mission, but you hear a kid screaming, "Game's on me, guys!" as he throws a handful of quarters into the air, and everyone starts like going at the ground, grabbing at these quarters, shoving them. A kid's putting them in his mouth so he doesn't. No one else gets them, and they're running into the arcade. And it seems like it's free reign inside the arcade for anyone who wants to be playing right now.
I'm just gonna try to snatch one of those quarters out of the air as we cruise by.
All right, give me a hand eye. Let's get some rolls going.
So that's a 16. It's gonna put me over 20.
Add 20. Definitely add 25 cents. You know what? You said you're over 20.
Yeah, I was trying to hop over
50 cents. You grab
yeah, I'm
two.
at 22.
Okay, you grab 50 cents.
Yeah.
You can add 50 cents to your piggy bank.
Yeah,
Hey, that's a bag of chips right there.
And everyone also starts with $5 generally in their piggy bank. So you have $5.50, Mac, and Jasper and Vincent. You guys each should have $5.
Nice.
Okay, so as you made your loop around, you swerved up into the gated community in between that school and arcade. It's kind of your same route, because in between that school and arcade there, like we said, there's that sick gap that separates the two that you guys all have to take a run at that. Once you make your way to the gated community, you notice a big burly man with a greasy comb over and a cheap tin badge at the edge of the gated community, and he has his dumb little doofy hat, and he's sitting there, and he's got his arms like this, and there's actual police cruiser that he's standing in front of, and you can't hear what he's saying right now, but you see him making all sorts of gestures, and this told him, and this and that, and then you kind of notice that the police officers are just kind of like, okay. And the police cruiser pulls off as you guys pull up. And now, Ted, you know that this is Mr. Spankin. He is the ex-war vet turned gate post of the gated community. He is the security guard. He is the threshold guardian for all who is to enter or leave the gated community.
All right.
So right now, I'm going to keep you at a distance in which you can or cannot engage if you want. I don't want to force you into engagement. But you kind of see him. He's sitting there. He doesn't have any weapons of any kind. He's got his big flashlight that maybe he could bonk someone with, but he is not allowed legally to hold any sort of weapon. He just has his badge and his hat there. And he's kind of just kicking back on a lawn chair at this point once they left, and kind of kicking like this. And you notice he's at the edge of the gated community, and like essentially right behind him is a two rows of cats, like, paper printout of wanted, like missing cats. And it looks like there's probably at least 6 or 8 cats that have been posted up there.
All right, I got this. I'll get him to come out. Y'all sneak in. Tell me about the gates on this gated community, right? Like, is this like the arm?
So it's actually a double steel gate that kind of opens like this, but he was getting yelled at for so often of keeping it closed that the town has pretty much petitioned for him to keep one of those gates all the way swung open.
Okay.
So you have one gate open and one gate closed, and he is in front of the closed area of the gate, kind of making his, like, this is his grounds here.
Cool.
But really, people are coming in and out freely.
Cool. Is there like a little, there's a gatehouse that's like got all that stuff posted up on it? Yeah. So like, I'm just going to go hit the curb, like grind along it, and then try to like zoom like past him into the community.
Awesome. I love that. Let me get to the wheels page here. Go ahead.
And I think while Mac is doing that, I'm going to try and, like, as soon as dude looks distracted, I'm just going to try and sneak around to the cat pictures.
Okay, so this
I'm
is
do the
going
same with you, though. I don't have much in the way of sneak, but I'm going to give it a shot.
I'm going to be like, follow me, kid, follow me.
Yeah.
I got this.
Okay, so I'm actually going to have a little fun with this since we have a nice multi-layered con that you kids have worked. I am going to base an additional bonus for Mac and Vincent, or Ted and Campbell, and based on the hand-eye roll that Tony is going to perform for his skateboard trick.
All right.
So as well as his trick is going to be as he rips that curb in front of the security guard, pissing him off and making him, get out of his seat, it's going to give an additional bonus to you guys. Otherwise, it's going to be your straight sneak.
That is a 23.
Damn. Okay. So there we go. Mac, you are not Durgus today. You are definitely Mac. As you skate on up, you kind of give a little bit of a middle finger to the Mr. Spankin as you kick a heel flip, grind on. It didn't even need the wax on the curb. You just skid right across them. You're spitting sparks from your skateboard, and you are immediately pissing him off. What do you think you're doing, kid? This isn't the trailer park. This is a nice community. And he gets up, and as he gets up and starts to leap at you, his gut drops out of his shirt and his belt, and you realize that when he was there talking to the cops, he had everything sucked and tucked in, trying to look professional, and now he's starting to spill out and get confused. Now, Jasper and Vincent, give me your sneak rolls. You're going to get an additional +2 to that.
Ooh, okay.
So whatever your sneak is.
+6.
All right, so that's an 18 for me.
Nice.
I rolled a 2, so that's going to be 8 for me.
Okay.
I think this happened the last time I played with you.
This is wonderful. I love this already. So I'm going to make a decision here. All right. So as Mr. Spankin is losing his like footing, trying to leap at Mac, who is expertly skateboarding and pulling tricks while basically giving him the figurative finger. Ted or Vincent, you expertly, like a ninja, kind of swirl around like his backside, and this part of town. This is your neighborhood, so you've kind of like expertly slunk into that area, and as you slink by and get to that, you just take your hand and rip down all of those paper cat missing signs. Roll a D8 for me.
5.
All right, so you're able to grab 5. You've caused total destruction in your speed as you rip down these 8 different things, but you realize once you're through on the other side of the gate, you've actually been able to grab 5 of those that are still in good condition, crumpled. Now, Jasper.
Yes.
Realizing that he was not going to get his hands on Mac, he decides to double back and reach for you. So we're going to do a competitive speed roll against each other.
Okay.
And you get your speed bonus.
Actually, I don't think did I put anything in speed? No, I did not. Okay, it's cool.
Okay, so Mr. Spankin isn't fast either, so.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Pure chance here. Yep.
This is your last chance to get away from this guy.
18.
9. Oh, double D.
Yes.
9. Okay, so just barely grabs the back of your shirt as you're going, and he just can't quite get it. And the 3 of you are now on the other side of the gated community as he is completely fallen over at this point and is sitting on his butt with his gut out, scratching his head as his comb over is flapping in the wind. And you guys are now effectively in the gated community, past him on your wheels without any disruption at this point.
Also, Vanity Plate Girl said, if I go pledge right now, can I name one of the cats? And I said yes.
Yes.
And it'll be canon for all time. It'll always have been
Yeah.
the name of one of these cats.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Okay, so the gated community. Yeah, go ahead. You can go if you'd like.
I was trying to decide if we want to take these. Now that we're sort of in here, I could probably get back to my house without anybody think anything was awry, right? Or
right, and more importantly, that nice sneak roll helped you stay out of his vision, since you were the one that he would know and notice and know your parents and would be real trouble, right? Like if you were messing with the security guard in your own neighborhood, these other two, they could be anyone to him. That's why he's trying to get his hands on them. He doesn't know them. They're cul-de-sac kids. So now essentially you would be leading the show here, Vincent, because this is your neighborhood. You know that Shadowbrook Road enters into Evergreen Drive and all of these big things that the other kids do not have much access to typically.
Yeah.
And you're certainly not usually skating in this neighborhood, so.
Yeah, I think Vincent wants to take us back to his room, which, has got his set up, and that's where we can take a look at all these flyers and check them out. I'm going to throw that out there as a suggestion, but.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's get into some AC. It's getting hot out here.
Yes, it is a hot summer day for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is getting us into some fun now, since we're blasting at this at pretty high speed. Give me a little bit of info about your parents so I can slink into the role, since typically in a longer run session we would have kind of these fun conversations.
Yeah. So the biographical details I had sort of been toying with, which you can take and run with, were a mom and dad, a mom who works like a pretty high-powered job. Like that's where the gated community money comes from. But I'm comfortable with it being sort of any of the opposite places it could be in the town, or if you want to take it a different direction.
No, it's great. Loving it.
My dad is usually at home. He's kind of like he's mostly a stay-at-home dad, has sort of hobbies. He's really supportive of my music, as long as
awesome.
And I've got a younger sister who plays drums in my band.
Right, that's right. You're the band house. All right, cool. So as you guys walk in through the door, Dad is kicked back in the house. He's got MTV on, and as he hears the door like open and swing open, you hear and as you go in, you guys are getting hit with a potpourri of different smells, if you will. None known to your noses, but you hear yelling from the other. Who is that in there? Who just came in here?
Hey, Dad. I just brought some
Vinny?
friends over. Is it cool if we just hang?
Man, you scaring me coming in the house like that. What are you doing? You know that I'm sitting here, not working.
Sorry, Dad. I'll try to knock next time. Is it cool if my friends will go up into the bedroom? We'll be really quiet.
Yeah, who do we got here? Who are these guys?
Hi, Vincent's dad.
Hi,
Hey.
hi, Mr. Vincent's dad.
Peculiar guys. So you got another skateboard?
We skate together down by the Gap.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. Hey, you guys ever seen that documentary on the kids of Dogtown? I think it's called the Dogtown Kids. They're real expert skateboarders. We used to do that stuff back in the day.
Yeah, come on.
Is that like Gleaming the Cube?
Cool.
Yeah, that's it. It's kind of like Gleaming the Cube. I know it's good. So yeah, you kids go have fun, and then if you want, I'm going to be watching this David Bowie documentary down here.
Oh man, I love that.
Thank you.
All right, so you guys blow up the stairs after you've made it past the parent. You have entered Vincent's room. If you want, I can make something up with your room if you're looking for some description. Otherwise, I would let Ted say what kind of posters he has on his walls, what kind of piggy bank he has.
I mean, there's definitely a guitar in the room, and his musical taste is like between. It's perfect that you threw the Bowie documentary in, because it's somewhere between like glam rock mixed with, you know, Sonic Youth weirdo stuff.
Awesome.
Sort of
Sounds
like
great.
glam kid is kind of his style.
Okay, so you guys are kicking it in this glam punk bedroom of the weirdo skateboard kid, and you know, you two are Mac and Jasper. Not gonna lie, little bit of jealousy comes in. He's got twice the size of the room of you guys. He's got twice the posters. You kind of look at his one poster and you're like, that would be cooler in my room, but like, I really like him. We're good friends right now. We got bigger fish to fry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you have all of these these wanted posters and missing.
I think Vincent's gonna lay them out right on his bed, and
you guys can study them if you'd
Vincent's
like.
ready to study roll.
And we need some cat names. Vanity Plate
Yeah.
Girl says
Actually,
they wouldn't pledge. So
please.
Vanity Plate Girl, go.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Oh, good. I wasn't sure if it worked. I'm not sure it worked either, but I did see the numbers went up, which is we're gonna count.
Nice. So please give me cat names right now.
So we got the cat name Fluff Daddy from Vanity Pledge Girl.
Awesome.
And Alan just wants to say that you have the Lamborghini poster from the book fair. That's
yes. and the B-1 bomber and the stealth bomber.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, anyone who's pledged already, you can name a cat if you want.
Yeah, please do. We are looking for some. That would be great.
But we got Fluff Daddy from Vanity Plate Girl who kicked it all off.
Awesome.
Is there I guess, like, can I ask a little bit about just the flyers generally, what I see before I study roll? Yeah.
So while made from and at different houses throughout this neighborhood, they all fit a pretty similar profile. There is a grainy photo, sometimes color, sometimes black and white, of a cat sitting on the arm of a couch or on top of a dog. All sorts of cute, like, you know, money shots of these cats. And it says, missing, last seen, you know, things like that. We love this cat. Answers to tender vittles. Loves tuna fish cans. Keep away from catnip. It has this cat has a peanut allergy. Things of that nature, just kind of listed down and below your typical center photo of a cat. In order to glean more information than that, I'm going to want some study rolls. I want people to start really digging at the 5 of these and looking together.
Yeah.
All right, we can see that the names, though, are Fluff Daddy.
Got you.
Ruka.
Right on.
Bort. Jimmy.
I like that.
And Oleson, I think. And so, if I'm pronouncing all those right, those are some of the cat names.
Okay, Olison.
Odinson.
Yeah. Vincent's got
Ollison. Sharky. All right. I'm like bouncing a ball off the wall while y'all are studying. All this.
Yeah. So give me some study rolls. Is any of you guys studiers? Yeah. Let's see if anyone can glean some information from these things.
All right. So that's a 19. So 15 plus my bonus.
Okay.
It's gonna be a straight roll for me. I'm trying to find like any kind of pattern.
Sounds great.
Oh, all right. And I got a 16.
Okay. Excellent. I mean, that should be enough. You don't even have to if you want to keep looking for cat names, Tony. That's no problem. Where we're at now with what you guys have rolled, you're seeing these 5 laid out in the bed, you know, on top of the bed. And as you're seeing this, you're starting to realize that there actually is something that that's the same on each of them. And it looks like it started with Fluff Daddy. And on Fluff Daddy, you notice that it was not just, in fact, printed out from a home computer, but there's been handwriting that has crossed out some stuff, underlined others, and says, contact Jesse, 2221 Fairfield. And with this same marker, on the backs and sides of each of them, they all have this same name. Contact Jesse. Please see Jesse. They each have something slightly different in the same thing. Jesse is looking for answers.
Hey, Jesse.
And it's like 2221 Fairfield Lane, which you know is in the gated community, Ted.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We also see paperwork for Doogie Meowser, MD.
Doogie Meowser is, yes. That's
and
a
in
pretty
true
good
Lord
one.
Randy fashion, Hiss Elizabeth.
Hiss Elizabeth. Okay, well, that one's getting a special. We're going to write that one down. Awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're noticing that someone has combed over all of these and seems to feel like they have some information, or they're looking for other people who have information.
Hey, how far does that guy live from here?
Ted, give me a smarts roll. We're gonna figure out what actually you know about this kid, Jesse.
Just what I was gonna ask. 12.
Okay. All you know about Jesse is that Jesse is not, in fact, a boy. Jesse is a girl who lives at the other end of your neighborhood, and you don't really go around there much because you think that she's been trouble. She is a little 7-year-old girl who is been known to get a little wild in front of other kids. She takes swings. She's lit fireworks under people's butts. She's a troublemaker. So you only know of her from the neighborhood because Mr. Spankin is always there.
Gotcha. And do I know anything about the family? Like, are they,
about her family?
Yeah, like if I
Nope.
were to, nothing. It's a why. It's a.
You don't. All you know is you go, oh, like Jesse's been looking at these. Like, I know Jesse.
All right. I'm a little scared to go to Jesse's house, to be honest, because of what I know about it. I know that she's got fireworks. I've seen, or heard tell rumors of people who have been, shot at with bottle rockets. So,
Oof.
I'm a little nervous about it.
Can I just say? Can I look at what would be like the camera angle over Vincent's shoulder, and then say, she's a little girl. How bad can it be? And then smash cut us over to watching Jesse do something absolutely intimidating outside of her house.
Yeah. I'm on board with that. Yeah.
Okay. So yes,
Well.
smash cut. Quit. You skirt your bikes up. The two skaters come right behind you, Jasper. And as you get to 2221 Everfield Lane, whatever, you see sitting in the center of a front yard a little black and white cat wearing a tiara and a dress and a spiked collar. And it's sitting directly in the center of the yard, and it has a leash on it that is around 10 feet long, and it is spiked into the ground. And this cat is just sitting up, perched, standing perfectly still with this tiara, sideways on its head, and it's got the spiked collar, and it has the tutu, like a tutu on, and it's kind of stuck in this position where it doesn't want to move, and it's just sitting there.
I want to take a look around and see if this reeks of trap to me.
So Snoop, yeah, you would give a Snoop roll to
going to be snooping, and of course I kind of built in as a breaking and entering character, so I've not even seen. But I did get a 13 on that.
Okay. It's on the cusp. Yeah, you definitely feel like something is fishy. something fishy is going on here. Why would this cat be sitting here on display like a prize in the center of the day? You are not quite able to glean anything else. If someone else wants to try to snoop around before engagement, I would allow that.
Go ahead.
Is pretty much the front of the house, like, is it possible for us to try to, like, sneak around and check out the back and see what's going on? Or
well, no, not in these gated communities, because they all have these like fences that split the front to the back of the house like halfway through. But like as you guys are like, we pulled this cinematic smash cut. The three of you are directly in front of this house on the blacktop, and then it goes sidewalk, and then like it starts to go up, you know what I mean? The house is a little high, and it's driveway to the right, and then to the left is this green patch of front yard. And at the edge of that front yard, you have these kind of 2.5, 3 foot high set of bushes that cut like the, you know, what would be like hip high for the front porch, in which there is an empty rocking chair and a front door. And just sitting directly in the center of that on the yard is this little cat, and it's just meow.
I'm going to give a snoop roll a go.
Okay.
7 plus 5. So 11.
Okay. I mean, you basically come right next to Jasper, and you guys know that something is not right. But you haven't seen any triggers in any way of anything there, but you just smell something's fishy.
Is there like a stick or anything around?
Yeah, you could give another snoop roll if you want to look for a stick or something.
I think while you're turning around and looking for the stick, like you turn, you look down, and I go, yeah, I got this. And then like I just take off.
Okay.
And I'm just like booking it across the lawn, and my plan is like I am going to like backflip over and grab this kitten, like, and jump and land on the far side of the lawn, and just like keep on trucking into like over the hedges into the neighbor's lawn.
Okay. Okay. So you swing out, you're like, I got this, and then you immediately walk like right away from the group, and the two of them are like, what? And before they know it, like they hear it coming across, and you come running laterally across the yard, and you try to scoop down and give me a hand-eye roll to grab this this thing, which shouldn't be a problem for you since you apparently have
17.
Okay, yeah. So you scoop up this kitten and get it under your arm like sports football style, and keep running across and hit the driveway and leaving to the neighbor's yard. As you yank this cat and the line on the end of the cat tightens, there is an underground massive explosion that boom blows up a huge 3x3 foot like hole in the center of the yard, and just leaving dirt flying everywhere. The two of you give me a speed roll to see if you dodge this explosion of dirt that you weren't expecting at all.
I like the dynamic we've established so far.
That was
Nat 20?
Yeah.
No, natural 1.
Whoa, natural 20 and a natural 1? Okay. So
I literally
flashbacks from the other games.
My character literally has the F around stat, and y'all have the find out stat at each end, like the good end and the bad end.
Okay. So
oh no.
Vincent.
Yeah.
You're too cool for school in this moment. You notice exactly what's happening, and like time slows up like Matrix bullet time. And you see as the string tightens, you see a little pin that's at the end of the ground, and it pulls. And you, in typical skater fashion, pull a crazy kickflip move backing up, and you pull a backflip away from this explosion. And you kind of like blade pose, like hell yeah. And you're like, this was absolutely cool and perfect. And as you lift your head up, you realize that Jasper is the person that you jumped in front of and unexpectedly took an entire mud bomb to the blown to the face. And he slowly turns around and is covered in dirt and mud. Jasper, take 1 hit point of damage.
Hey, I am too. Jasper is thinking that he is just too old for this.
I was about to graduate 6th grade. I'm too old for this.
Okay, so since we're keeping this in a fast action of things, I want to kick back to Mac. So are you just going to just keep running? Like once you've hit the neighbor's yard and you're away and you heard the explosion?
No, I think my thought is like I want to jump the hedge and land, right? So like
right, okay.
So like
cool.
I'm getting out of this yard and hiding and seeing what happens. 2 things. I think I remember reading, and you would know because you're the designer of the game, if you roll 20, you get a cool point, but I don't know what cool points do.
Okay, so I literally have this right around here. So cool points is a mechanic that we've designed in this game to try to transfer the feeling of rolling a natural 20, like the player rolling a natural 20, giving that same feeling to the character. So when natural 20 is rolled, a amazing feat happens to the kid and they get a cool point that is thrown into the little sunglass drawing on the character sheet. Now, these cool points can be stored and used for many different things. I'll run down very quickly a list of things that you can do. So the first thing you can do with 1 cool point, for the cost of 1 cool point, is you can perform any 1 skill roll or task without rolling, and you will be able to do it successfully. The second thing you could do with a cool point is you get a second chance. If you roll and you fail a roll that you needed to make, you can then make that roll again. You are not able to do it perfectly at that point. If it is you're trying to piggyback off something that you're like, shit, I failed this, we need to make this happen. You can then re-roll and give yourself a second chance. Both of those can happen only once a day. The next thing you can do is brush off a hit point of damage, or if you see in your character sheets, there's the whole feeling section. If you're burned or woozy, you can either eliminate one of those or take a hit point of damage back. Another thing you can do is erase when things start to get scary. You can erase 2 scaredy point meters for 1 cool point. Or you can use 2 cool points and give a Goonies style like rally cry speech that calms everyone down and brings everyone's scaredy meters down 2 points. And finally, which is not necessarily something that may happen in this one-time session, but for long-run games, what you can do is, we call it growing up. You can save 3 cool points and spend 3 cool points to add 1 permanent skill point to yourself.
Sorry, you were going to.
What'd you say?
The flip side being when you roll natural 1s too.
That's what I was just going to get to. So if you roll a 1,
this is what I need to hear.
Lose a cool point. Now, you cannot be negative cool points.
Okay,
everyone, their status quo is uncool. Everyone is uncool unless they're cool. So like you can't be like -3 and being like, I'll never be cool. Like all you get to is 0. You can mess up all you want at 0 and never be in the negatives. So it's a positive only.
Cool. And then how do I know what my health is, actually? I missed that part.
So your health, I believe, what is it, Ted? It's your strength +2?
Yep.
Cool.
So whatever your strength point is +2 is going to be in your meters. And then if you see on your character sheet, once you hit a certain point, you start to become bruised and bloodied. And then from there, depending on the specifics of whatever dangerous situation you're in, it'll determine whether or not you're bleeding, blinded, deaf, woozy, rashed, or burned. Cool. And then once you have several of those, the absolute worst, as you see real big at the bottom of that character sheet, is broken. If you break a bone, you're in trouble. So it has been known to put some kids out for several weeks.
Cool. All right, perfect. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. I just wanted to make sure I was tracking.
Awesome. Yeah, cool. Yeah, good. No, ask all of the questions, please.
All right.
Okay, so Ted, as you pull up from your dramatic action pose and Jasper, you're literally like Saving Private Ryan. It's like, ee! And you like can't hear anything, and you've got like mud all over your face. Mac, you start to peek your head up from the bushes and see what damage you have left behind from your brazen maneuver. And still not seeing anything other than that, you have this cute, adorable little kitten on your in your hands that you notice has this tiara like pinned to its head with berets like onto the fur, and that has this spiked collar, and you have this like 3-foot link of rope attached to it and a little pin at the end of it.
Does it have the nameplate on? Like, does it have a collar?
Yes, it is Hiss Elizabeth. This is Hiss Elizabeth.
Awesome. I kind of look back over and I look at like look at Jasper like coated in mud, and I'm like, this girl's weird.
I'm flipping you the bird right now.
And I'm having that moment where I really want everybody to see how cool I was, but they're just not. In it, so I'm sort of in that pose that nobody is taking. Eventually,
too much happened around you, Vincent. No one got to see how cool it was, but you felt it. But also, as that happens, you swear that you just heard a little whiz by your head, Vincent. Just a little noise. Now, Tony, what is your... Okay, that's probably not going to hit you. What is your defense? Now, I believe your defense is your speed plus 11, right, Ted?
That's right.
Yeah. That is like your basically to hit you number.
I'm a 19.
You're a 19, geez. Okay, good, yeah. So, again, the same thing with you. You now feel like you hear a little whiz right by your head.
Can I try to reach out and grab it in midair?
Yeah, give me a hand-eye roll as we're going to realize that.
No, I didn't. I don't think I did. It's a 9.
Okay, yeah, no. So you don't do it, but it's your knee-jerk reaction that you're finding is going to be like your thing this summer.
Like
you're going to try to...
I try to reach up and grab it, but I've got a kitten in my
and you're right. Oh, okay. Actually, okay. Little kitten in between you and the kitten, another blows right by you.
Whoa! I'm gonna duck down behind the thing. Take cover.
You're not my cat, not this time, you bastards. You hear, and it sounds like it's coming through the bushes.
I'm hiding.
You're hiding? Well, pull a hide. Give me a hide roll then. That is something that if you want to actually hide from damage, got to make a roll for it.
So that was another natural 20.
Really?
Yep.
All right, we're going to start making you show these rolls, Tad. No, totally awesome. So before you know it, just like he backflipped over you, Jasper, blink, Vincent's gone. He's completely not there. You're there, covered in dirt. Does a 14 hit you? What is your defense?
My defense is 11, so yeah, 14 would.
Okay, so plink, you take another hit now, and this was a small rock just hits you dead center mass in your chest, taking another hit point to you.
All right, I'm gonna try and use. I do have a little bit of. Let's see. I'm not really trying to lie in this situation, so
charm.
I am gonna try and charm.
Yeah.
And say we're just trying to find the other cat.
Okay. Give me a charm roll.
Okay. Yeah, I have 1 in charm. And I rolled a 3. I'm really swinging.
Yeah, nice try. That's why you've got a cat in your hand right now.
I don't have a cat in my hand. I have mud on my face.
We're looking for Fluff Daddy. Have you seen him?
Dead silence. Then you hear, "You knew Fluff Daddy?"
That Vincent's cat is Fluff Daddy.
Yeah, we'll say Vincent. Yeah. Wait.
So-
Vincent from the other side of. Vincent's here?
At this point, I'm going to kind of reluctantly poke my head out, sort of acknowledging that I was, I'm pretty proud of how well I hid, but I know that it wasn't the heroic thing to do in this moment. And I kind of say, yeah, I just really miss Fluff Daddy. We came here to see if you would help because we found your notes.
You found my notes. You were able to decipher my very hard to understand notes.
Yeah, I'm pretty smart.
You see the bushes between the house and the front porch split up, and you see these little eyes peek out, and you see a slingshot drop down. I have dropped my weapon. I need you to drop yours. I have to know that you are safe. I will be safe if I step out.
I'm not packing anything.
Is anyone else going to drop anything?
I'm gonna put down my my slingshot and or not my slingshot, sorry, my crossbow. I'm dropping it on the ground in front of me.
Excellent. How about you, cat boy? I want my Hiss Elizabeth.
Okay. And I put Hiss Elizabeth on top of the thick hedge.
Yeah. And you see this girl peek out who looks shockingly like Hiss Elizabeth herself. She has a tiara on her head and a spiked collar and a tutu and black combat boots and a bandolier of different random objects that she's made this bandolier herself. And you realize that it's all sorts of stuff that she's been stealing from maybe her house or around the neighborhood that she decides to stick into a slingshot and blast at anyone. So it seems like a parlay is in order.
So I'm going to initiate since I'm from the neighborhood and walk up and say, I'm going to ask who she thought we were. That's where I'm going to start because she must think we're somebody trying to steal her cat. So who do you think we were?
Those arcade kids.
The arcade kids? You think they've been stealing the cats?
Yeah, those punker kids. I've been telling everyone. The punker kids are coming into our neighborhood at night and they're stealing our cats.
What would teenagers be stealing our cats for?
I'm over here trying to figure that out, and no one seems to care. Is right. She runs up to the cat on the hedges and grabs it off the hedges and is clutching it tight and is kind of rubbing it a little too hard and goes, "Oh, Hiss Elizabeth, you're such a good girl." And then kind of just tosses it over her shoulder into the yard. And now it's just free running around the yard. I just got that cat.
What happened to your... Did you have another cat before that?
Did you blow it up? Did you blow it up? Did you blow it up?
I had a cat called Bort that disappeared No, I didn't blow it up. But I would blow up every other cat that I own instead of having it getting taken by those arcade punkers.
What makes you so certain that it's the arcade kids?
Because the kids, I'm telling you, when they stole the cat, I heard one of them. I swear I heard him say it. He said, "This is going to be great. This is going to fetch us great money at the arcade."
They're selling cats at the arcade, you think?
I don't know if they're selling them there or what, because I'm not allowed to go to the arcade anymore, if you remember, after I blew up that Robotron machine. But it was cheating, and it wouldn't give me the high score, so I had to cherry bomb it.
Well, if they're selling them, maybe Fluff Daddy's still alive. That gives me hope.
And I got
They
50
got your
cents.
cat too?
Yeah. Just a couple days ago, my cat went missing. I've been hearing about him missing from the neighborhood, and I didn't think it would happen to me, but one day I came home from school, Fluff Daddy was gone.
Damn town. I'm telling you guys.
My sister didn't know anything. Nobody could find him. We searched the streets for hours.
Something is afoot, guys. I'm telling you. And I think it's those teenagers. It's those old teenagers that are hanging out at the arcade. I'm telling you, there's something going on there.
We can always check it out, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I can't. But take this. She puts her hand out for one of you to receive something. Is someone going to receive?
I guess I'll put my hand out, my dirt-covered hand.
As you do, she reveals a cherry bomb in her hand. Take this with you in case things get crazy.
All right.
So you receive one cherry bomb, Jasper.
Oof. Okay, given my luck with explosives so far.
I guess we'll let you know what we find out.
Please do. And don't tell anyone about what I have set up here as she's taking another handful of cherry bombs and stuffing them in the ground.
Maybe don't blow up your cat while we're gone. Like, if you could just wait.
Wait?
Yeah, maybe just keep her inside for now.
All right. Well, you guys are lucky that there's a gem marathon on, and I'll stay inside, and it's hot today. So, but tomorrow at noon, the trap is set again.
We'll handle it.
Okay.
Let us handle it.
Sounds good. She grabs Hiss Elizabeth by like the collar and just roughly has it hanging by its collar and runs inside the house. And you go, "Ma!" and the door shuts.
Huh. Okay, so we have the punk kids that seem to be selling cats out of the arcade, huh?
And when we went past the arcade the first time, it was pretty crazy too. So I'm not sure what we should. I feel like we should be prepared for something to go down. It feels like when there were swarms of kids and quarters flying around. I feel like.
Yeah, where did they get those quarters from?
That's. I mean, I'm guessing the change machine inside, but yeah, we should probably go prepared. Can we do like just a equipping montage on the way?
Absolutely.
We swing by each of our houses. My character absolutely has a power glove that we see them sliding on.
Yeah, totally. Gear up montage, baby. You guys can do that for the sake of us moving this forward.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and acquire some either some matches or a lighter from somewhere inside my house.
Okay, give me a snoop roll. It should be that hard.
9.
All right. So
I'm rolling so bad today.
So you see them. You actually know where there's a book of matches, but you got to steal them. You gotta actually steal them from the house. You're gonna have to give me a steal roll.
Okay, that's great for me. I have a 4 in steal, so
awesome. That's great. So
give
me a roll. You gotta
22.
Boink. Got him. You now have a match book with 17 matches in it.
Yes.
So almost a complete match book. Is there anything else that anyone quickly was trying to do something like that before the three of you meet back up at the arcade?
I'm all set. I was just at my place. I'm good.
Cool.
Yeah.
You're just drinking like a juice box on the porch while we're flashing around town.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna refill my the water bottle container that I have on my BMX.
Yeah. Awesome.
Gotta stay hydrated in this piece, and yeah, I'm gonna make sure that I have 5 singles rather than just a $5 bill to hit that change machine and not have everything.
Yeah. I think we see like Durgus run up to a house where there's like 5 kids in the front yard, like who all look very similar to him, but at varied ages. And then we hear a very Scottish voice, like female voice, yelling at him as he runs out of the house again.
Nah, don't be home. Don't forget, dinner's at 8. So you have an official dinner time.
All right.
8 o'clock is your dinner time. I'm sure your curfew is actually much later. That's probably not going to come into play with what we have going on right now.
But yeah,
so,
then we pull up outside the arcade.
Yeah, so now the 3 of you meet collectively in front of the arcade. My best friend's girlfriend is playing out front. They got the cars blasted. Used to be mine. And you guys are immediately, again, it seems like it's almost kind of a madhouse. It's a little thinned out from before, but we are hitting like 5-6 o'clock-ish right now. And it seems as if the older kids are starting to become a higher percentage within there. And the younger kids are starting to head home for their 6-7 o'clock dinners, their 8-9 o'clock curfews, and it's just starting to change the vibe that's going in there. And so you're out front. It's one of those open gated places. So like it has 2 layers of like the rolling gate. That will close down. That is up, and it's like a double side gate. Other than that,
like a midway.
It's like open face. There's no door for you guys to go into. Like it's almost boardwalk-esque. It's kind of like, yeah, come on, come on. So that's why there's groups of kids and clouds of smoke out front and around the side of the arcade. And it's kind of just a free-flowing. There is no closed space. So you guys are there outside right now.
Should we be nervous to go in at all, or does it sort of seem like, I'm an 11-year-old kid, I'm going to arcade, nobody's going to, like, look at me funny, but it's just a lot of older kind of going nuts.
I mean, there's definitely older kids causing a ruckus in there, but it's not going to require any sort of fear roll.
I'm heading in.
You're heading straight in?
Motivated by...
Yeah, I'm like flexing my power glove. It doesn't make any sense at all, but like I'm like tightening it, like I'm properly equipped for this. I'll go ahead and say this: I never go to the arcade. This is my first time. This is what I assume people do at the arcade. I've only played console games to this point.
Okay.
I would request a quick retcon saying that I put on a cleaner shirt and pants before coming over. And I have like my like ancient iPod earbuds or Walkman, and I'm like
so
playing music, and I'm looking for someone who has people who seem to have like money.
Since you cleaned off, you recalibrated, we're going to give you 1 hit point back. You still have to deal with that one from that thud in the chest. But now that you're feeling fly again and you're at the arcade, you got your nice outfit on, we are going to give you 1 back from like the stunning mud bomb that you took.
All right. So I'm at 3 now. Okay.
Excellent. So you guys are heading in. Let me know like what you guys, I will describe accordingly as to what you guys, are you all heading in at once? What are you guys doing?
Yeah, I hang out at the arcade a fair amount, but I'm definitely a pinball freak. I don't really touch any like,
Okay.
So I sort of head to that area because, I mean, I'm not trying to play right now necessarily, but that's where I know that's my sort of corner at the arcade.
Okay. So you immediately cut away from the group. What about you, Tony? Completely overwhelmed.
Yeah, Mac is.
I don't
think Mac Mac, I don't think is necessarily just doesn't. It's very obvious to everybody else that Mac doesn't know what they're doing. I don't think Mac is at all aware that they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like the vibe is like, I've got this. I'm on top of this, cruising around, and really, it's just like, hey, any games about cats?
Okay, give me a charm roll.
Charm. I got a 9 on that.
Kid, as you say that to the first group of kids in front of a Qbert machine, they kind of just side eye you and like kind of shift over and are like playing the thing and kind of like, so you're kind of like with your power glove thinking you're all cool and being like, hey, have this glove here. I was wondering if there is any games about cats, and then you kind of just get like shunned and you're like left there standing being like, okay, and then you like turn to go over to another group. Jasper, what do you got? What are you going for?
I'm actually going to try and like, I kind of feel that this is a place that Jasper knows.
Yeah.
A little bit. He's like really he's comfortable.
Yeah, wannabe
here.
graffiti artist.
Yeah,
kicking it. You got your
got like the like Galaga type fonts. I've probably like traced them over a couple of times in my notebook. So I'm basically I'm looking for any of the older kids and anyone who seems to be like either racking up a lot of tickets or like just playing the like more expensive 50-cent to $1 games. Anybody who looks like they've come into some things.
Okay. You do see just that. In the back of this arcade, as you get deeper and deeper, there's lots of like 3 arcade like pods that are like potted together, you know what I mean? Like back to back. So that's going. And then once you get into the back, like the deeper you get into this arcade, as you know, it kind of gets dingier and scarier. So the dingier element is the pinball machines that have been there the longest. And that's where Vincent usually goes. He sits in the back corner as a weirdo, just kind of like pumping quarters and flipping away. And it's kind of split in half. What'd you say?
Oh. Is there like a Kiss pinball machine or like a Guns N' Roses one of those like musician themed ones? Because that would definitely be my.
There's an Aerosmith one. Sorry, none as cool as Kiss or Guns N' Roses, but you're stuck with the Aerosmith one.
Begrudgingly take it.
Now, as I was saying though, it's kind of split in half, right? So the back left half is the pinball machines, and the back right half are all the light gun machines, which are a little more expensive and usually being frequented by the older street toughs that are like shooting zombies and aliens and stuff back there.
By the way, I want to clarify the name of the Aerosmith shooting game, very popular in the 90s, was Revolution X. And I played it every time I was at the arcade.
That was the one where you shot CDs, right?
You shot normal bullets, and you could get CDs to shoot that were like extra powerful.
Yeah.
Like
Yes, indeed. It was the Aerosmith Terminator 2 arcade game. It's basically the same. Hell yes. Yeah, one of those is there, and the kids are there, shooting away. And you see that this is literally the older group. We're talking 15, 16 plus here. You're seeing chain wallets. You're seeing scuffed jeans with the knees exposed. You're seeing high tops. You're seeing dudes with mullets and ponytails and greasy long hair. It's smoky in that corner of the place. And you kind of hear these dudes like, huh, yeah, dude, never. When was the last time we got to get to level 8, dude? Like, this is the best.
I'm going to be like, man, how many coins have y'all pumped into this thing?
Shit, man, we lost count, dude.
Oh, yeah, you're making some. Jasper is being much more smoother than I am.
Yeah,
right now.
yeah, no, that's
But Jasper's like, wow, that's awesome. Y'all like got some jobs or some shit to be able to do it all?
Dude's like, you can say that. Boom, 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 boom. He's shooting it down. Focus up, man. The dude's like nudging him. Get back in there.
I'm gonna put like a quarter to like just signify like next on it, and then like
give me a charm roll for that.
All right. This is gonna be so bad. I'm getting bad.
Just in the background, in the distance, we just hear, "What do you mean you don't know where the cat games are?"
Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I was assuming you guys had collected in this area now. Together.
No, I think I'm still wandering around looking for cat games.
Looking for cat game. Okay.
I got a 3 altogether. I need to throw out this die.
Without breaking a stride, like the dude is like all focused and shooting, and he kind of like looks down and sees that you laid a quarter there, and just kind of takes his middle finger and knocks it off the table. We're gonna be a while, kid. Can't you see? We're at level 8. You've never even seen level 8. Do 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 as he's shooting away, and you hear "come on," like all the different little sound bites of Steven Tyler. Yeah.
If sorry, is like Vincent within like eyesight of me?
Yeah, he is, because he's in the back there. I mean, he kind of just slunk right into what he usually does, which is sit at a pinball. He's not really being much help right now. He's just playing some pinball, but he's back there with you.
I'm kind of like trying to signal like, dude, this is how pieces are now. I'm gonna. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say if I notice that, if I'm able to, I don't know if I have to roll, but I'll sort of.
No, you don't need to know. Yeah, he's just getting your attention. Tony, throw me another charm roll. This is another group of kids and another set of looking for cat games.
12.
12. Yeah, you're getting more of like, are you playing or not, kid? Get out of the way. And you just like, okay. Stumble away. Every time it happens, you kind of grab your power glove and give it a.
Yeah, it's always like, do you know where the cat games are?
Exactly. You're just like looking at you like, what? You've got the cable hanging from it, like it plugs in and everything. Yeah, wonderful.
So, if I'm over by Jasper now, he's gonna I'm gonna ask him to fill me in on the whatever you have just learned. Like what's up, basically.
Yeah, like, oh, these guys are pumping a lot of money into this game right now. And it's kind of I lean over and whisper, match the description.
So that seems pretty suspicious to me. I want to try to take a look around before I start engaging people.
Give me a snoop roll.
Yeah.
10.
Would you say 10?
10.
Okay. You're not seeing tons, but what does stick out to you is as this kid is like shifting back and forth playing this game, he kind of like kicks his one butt out, like he's like switching sides, and you notice on his chain wallet, it looks like there's a whole bunch of like pendants that have been attached to his chain wallet. He's got a real flashy chain wallet going on. You'd have to get a little more like snoop action in order to get some more information from that.
I walk up to this group of people. I get right in their face. They go, "Where are the cat games?"
Another snap. Give me another. Every time you do it, I'm gonna.
Yeah, but this is the group that they're like snooping around right now.
This is our people.
Okay. You run up. Would you get a 5?
I got an 11.
Oh.
Where are the cat games?
And they literally both stop what they're doing and look over at you, and you're hearing the like Steven Tyler like ow, ow, ow every time like his guys are getting hit because they stop and they both stare you dead in your eye. And in that exact moment, Jasper and Vincent, you guys realize when they lose their focus and side eye from you and focus on the absurd thing that Mac has just done, that those pendants on that chain wallet actually say Bort, Ruka, Jimmy, and Allison. They're the actual tags from the cat's collars. Dun, dun, dun.
All right.
What do you think you're doing, kid? You rolling up to us like that, talking cats. Don't you know cats have been missing around here? They're speaking to you, Mac.
I had heard something about missing cats. I miss my cat, which is why I wanted to come play cat games. I'm absolutely lying. I don't have any skill and I'm not very good at it. I mean,
okay, give me
I could make a roll, but really reality is I'm okay just being like, it's bad and not convincing at all.
Yeah, okay. It's a little suspicious you rolling up into the back of this arcade here asking us about cats. And they kind of like look right, look left, and they lean in. So what's the deal? You guys got cats?
I mean, I miss my cat, Dr. Doogie Meowser, MD.
Never heard of that cat.
Well, I mean, that's fine.
You guys don't got cats and just...
I'm going to chime in and say, my cat went missing. Fluff Daddy.
They both look at you. Look at each other. Look back. We, never heard of any Fluff Daddy, man. We don't know what you're talking about. Might as well get out of here. If you guys ain't got cats for, then we don't want to have nothing to do with you.
I'm trying to... Should I go full gonzo or not?
Do it.
I'm going to reach into my my bag and take out one of my spray cans that's a neon yellow.
Okay.
And I'm just going to go to the guy who has the chain wallet, and I'm just going to spray him in the face.
Oh, damn. All right. So
like, don't lie.
So in this situation, I'm going to give you the ability to choose either hand-eye or creativity for your swipe of paint as your attack.
I'm going to use creativity because I don't think I have put any in hand-eye.
Okay. So this is going to be a creative stroke.
This is going to be a creative stroke. This is
always.
Vincent, this is how loyal I am to you. I'm using a different die this time.
Yes.
Oh, drop a phone. And I got a 14.
All right. Diagonally up his face across bright yellow. He's like literally frozen, like in place as you completely sprayed him. Totally frozen for one round solid, while his other boy who was playing the game like literally stops and like looks over and like, what? Did these kids really just do this to us right now? Like, we are going to beat these kids into the floor. You guys each have some time to get something. Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. To pull one of these out because it sounded like I'm starting to lose some power, so I want to keep it going. Everyone still here? Can hear me fine?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. Awesome. So this is like literally a shock. Jasper initiated a shock round that has totally blown everyone away here. So you guys get to now react before them once you've seen what your boy just did.
I want to take the cord on my power glove and like hook the leg of the guy who's at the video game thing and trip him.
Oh, hell yeah. Awesome. Yeah, give me a attack roll.
I rolled a 15 and I'm adding my attack to it. That's I think 19.
Right on. Okay, so yeah, so what are you doing? You're trying to wrap around his leg and tie it and then yank with your arm?
Like so basically like I've got one in here, I've got one in here, and I like basically like clothesline his legs essentially.
Yeah.
Being your own tripwire.
Yank him onto the ground.
Excellent. And he hit his head on the one machine hard as he tumbles down.
And Steve Tyler makes the hurt noise right as that happens.
Yeah, he does that whole yeah, come on. Yeah, so one of these guys is literally frozen solid, like blinded with rage, and the other one is on the ground and lassoed up before you know it. Vincent, this would be your time if you're going to get anything happening right now before the other one does something. And
yeah, I'm gonna
just the blindsiding of these guys.
So the one guy's on the ground. So I guess I'm gonna take out my crossbow, and I'm not gonna get to use the like bonus that it has at range, I believe.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm just gonna like
tag him with the crossbow.
Yeah.
Is he? You're going for the one who's prone on the ground though?
No, the one who's blinded, right? That's what.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, go ahead. Give me the guy.
Yeah. 10.
10? All right, that just barely hits him since he's blinded. He takes one straight to the chest and is like blown back and goes to grab at Mac. Since you've got the one guy lassoed up with your power glove, he goes to swing at you. Oh, and being blinded and hit, swings wildly and actually knocks one of those post-mounted machine guns from the game. It like blows a set of sparks out, and like other kids in the arcade now are hip to what's happening. It's no longer a silent thing as this kid basically breaks the video game that he's been playing on all day and is like blinded, like swinging about randomly. Yeah, it's you guys. Your turns.
Okay.
The other guy is definitely prone on the ground.
This may have been said already, but is there only the one way out of the arcade? It's that open front entrance.
Well, that you guys know, there's the big massive front entrance, and there's also a set of double doors in the back, right by the pinball machines that you know. You've never walked through those double doors, but there'd have to be another way out, right?
I'm gonna look at Vincent and Mac and say, "Power of the people." So can I explain my idea before?
Yeah.
And then they can nix it or not. We got them marked. Everybody's pissed off about the cats. Just gonna say like, these are the people who took the cats. They have the tags.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can totally say that. You're just exclaiming that into the crowd?
As like loudly as possible.
Yeah. I mean, it's pandemonium in there right now. Kids are running, flooding out of the place. There's kids grabbing coins off the countertop.
Oh, okay, so it's way probably wouldn't even be heard.
Once the game, well, no, people could be hearing that. It's not you weren't able to if you're trying to like get a group together, I would need a charm roll for you to try to like charm a group of stranger kids to try to like, you know, if you're trying to drag this kid out of the arcade with, you know, with other people and have them, you know, get in trouble. But for the most part, it's pandemonium inside this arcade right now. The pimple-faced nerd kid with the money pouch, and the ticket pouch is like, hey, don't grab that. Like there's kids like reaching over and grabbing the like stuffed animals and like toys behind the counter that you win from tickets. Kids grabbing handfuls of tickets from the dude. He's like trying to fight it. Like it's erupted right now. There's pandemonium in the arcade. So you could basically do whatever you want without being noticed. And it's certainly your turn.
I want to run through those double doors, I think. I was under the impression that we were worried that like people had noticed once that gun fell down and like eyes were on us. But we're still like fine, or
well, I mean, eyes. Once the arcade machine that you guys were at broke and fizzed out and exploded in the one game, like it only took a couple of rascals to use that opportunity to start grabbing shit from behind the counter, and like kids are screaming, everyone is ravenous. Kids are mad that cats are gone. Kids are happy that it's the first day of summer. They can't control it. There's no adults around.
I'm going to take the gun off the arcade and hold it in my hand as if I've just pulled an actual automatic weapon off the thing. And start making my way to those back doors.
So I want to, I guess, make a snoop roll around. Maybe I can like put my ear up to the door if nobody's noticing, see if I can kind of get some sense for what's going on the other side.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oof. Okay. So that's a 2. It's a 7, but
7. Yeah. So you don't in the pandemonium, you're not really able to hear anything, but the door is unlocked. You touch the handle. So yeah, the world is your oyster. If you want to go through the door, I'm not going to make you go through the door.
I'll do it.
Okay. Do you guys follow? Are you?
Oh yeah, I was already headed that way. The only reason that Mac wasn't the first person through the door is because he stopped to grab that, like yank that gun off of its mount.
Yeah. I kind of realized that the situation I created is now too chaotic. And so instead of doing my power to the people move, I'm actually going to try and jack the dude's chain wallet, since he's knocked out on the ground, that has the pennants and everything in it, and hopefully has his ID and everything.
Give me a steal.
It
should be pretty easy because he's all.
Yeah, and this is the kind of thing that I kind of made. This was my idea. Got 15.
Okay, yeah. So you yank that chain wallet. You get the wallet and the chain, and you start running. Vincent, as the
taking
first
the cash out for asshole tax.
Yeah, you absolutely do. Actually, speaking of, there's $9 inside that wallet.
Yes. Almost 2 weeks of allowance there.
And that's just in a quick glance in the wallet. Like, you grabbed it and you're running and you're just trying to see if there's a money score there, but you haven't like dug through the wallet yet due to pandemonium. That's what's happening. Vincent, now as you blast through those double doors, like away from the group, you see that it's kind of actually like weirdly sterile white back here, but it's not much space at all. There's a employee bathroom, a slop sink, a mop, some cleaning materials. And as you swing right, you realize that there is an exterior door to the back of this arcade that just slammed shut as you walked into the room, as if someone was just in that back room and just left. So if you want to try to catch up to that person or get them, I'm going to need a speed roll.
Yeah, let's do it. It's a 4. No.
4? Okay, so you just get to the back. I mean, if you guys are there with them, if you all see that, like, so.
Then I point the gun at there and I just take off towards it. Mine is a dirty 20.
It's a dirty 20?
Yeah.
Okay, that's great, though.
Actually, sorry, it's a dirty 22.
A dirty 22.
Yeah, I just rolled a 9 for my speed, so.
Okay.
Trailing behind. I got carrying the wallet.
Who started in the back of the group has blown his way in front of the both of you. As you get into this starkly different area of the arcade, you're like, whoa, it's like the other side of the arcade. We've never seen this before. But Mac has no idea what arcade is supposed to be. Because
as far as I know, this is still just the normal arcade.
So like blows past you with his like fake plastic gun and blows through the double doors, and you get to see a hearse pull out, like skirt tires, and blow down the street behind the arcade, swooping past the department store and the fast food like restaurant and disappearing.
Dang.
A hearse.
I think vampires are stealing the cats.
What do you guys think about that? I'm not playing.
I'm saying no. I think this guy steals the cats. I'm gonna go through the wallet and see
vampire.
if there's like any like ID or anything like that.
Yeah. So as you're rummaging through the wallet, you do see that he has Sarah Miller's picture from the yearbook in there, girlfriend. He has a landscaping worked for the summer card in there, and then there's Roscoe's Cemetery and Church business card.
Vampire.
If we need to dig up, a undead Fluff Daddy, I'm gonna do it.
All right.
So,
I mean, cats probably eat a good amount of blood either way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they catch a mice, they're not
vampire cat and a regular cat are probably pretty similar personality-wise.
So you guys are in the back alley, right by the skate gap that you usually know, behind the arcade. Kids have sputtered out all over. If you guys want to go back into the arcade through the back, you are able to, or you can just go right ahead and head somewhere else if you would like.
I'm gonna go kick down the door to the like employee, like the side room you said was in there. Like I don't know if it was
there's like a little employee space, employee bathroom, and stuff like that. It's not a very big space, but
I kick the door down and point the gun around inside of it.
Empty, like mop, like janitor's closet. It looks like, but you do give me a snoop roll. Actually, before I pop this on you, what?
I only have 1 point in Snoop, but that is a 20.
Oh shit! Okay, so it's you're seeing nothing. You're seeing like cleaners and sanitizers and stuff for the games, and then right when you're like there ain't nothing in here, you see it. You see a solid brick wrapped in plastic, unopened, unadulterated block of tickets. There must be 20,000 tickets stuck. It's for the workers there to load the machines. Like several thick layered bricks right next to each other. It looks like a brick of cocaine, but it
might as well be
for a ticket hold. Like it's there if you want it. But you got to steal it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, like, I'm like, somebody, I've heard these are important. Somebody should take charge of these. It's me.
So, just to explain a little bit in terms of the mechanic for this, when it's like, oh, I found something, I snooped and found something, and now I have to steal it. The concept is kind of representing the, like, emotional toll of stealing, since it is a bad kid thing. Like, you don't just snoop and find things. Like, you found this, and you're there. You're staring at it. It's a brick of gold. It's right in front of you, but you know it's a bad thing to do if you steal it. So even if there's no one around, it takes an emotional, like, psychological toll on you. So that's why we represent you now need to cross that threshold and steal that.
Yeah, this is the first time I've ever stolen anything.
Yeah,
like not from my siblings in my life.
Right. That's it. This is a big steal too, man. This is.
I rolled an 11, so I think I do it, but I don't feel good about it. But I'm like,
you don't feel good about it, but you took that brick, but no one was there to see you do it. So if you rolled an 11, you rolled an 11, but that brick is in your hand, ready to go into your backpack if you have space for it.
Yeah, it's going in.
Oh man. Just realized my bike is out front.
Right. So you can either go around the arcade to get your bike, or you can go through the arcade to get your bike. You've got your skateboard on you, Vincent. I don't know what you're trying to do.
Maybe I'm gonna suggest that we meet back at the clubhouse, so I can go and grab. I'm gonna try and like sneak around and grab my stuff, so in case I run into those guys again.
Okay, so if you want to go around the arcade, you don't need to sneak. If you're trying to go in through the arcade and you're trying to be seen by those guys, then you would have to sneak.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm just gonna go around trying to not draw attention to myself, not act like the person who just sprayed someone with paint in the middle of the arcade, and grab my bike.
Wonderful. Vincent, talk to me, man. What are you doing?
So I'm hopping on I want to hop my skateboard and get straight over to the cemetery.
Okay. What about you, Mac? You're inside the arcade right now. You know what I mean? You're in the back area, but you're the only one indoors. They have gone around the outside, so you're split from them. So you have a choice to either go out through the back, go out through the double doors, in through the front, or just hang out in that janitor's closet if you want. I don't suggest it.
No, I'm just I've got my thing with me, so I'm just gonna cruise around.
Okay, so you go back out through the back of the arcade?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you see them, essentially. You guys are all in the same. They do not know if you have this brick of tickets. With you on your own, you did that yourself. So you would have to tell them if you even want to. Just saying, that's not an assumed thing.
Cool.
So I know we're hitting about 2 hours here. Do we want to wrap up here? How do you guys? You let me know how you do this, since you guys have blown the case open. But obviously, it would be some more work.
I'm okay to keep on going. We usually, 2 hours is great. We usually play like between 2 and 3.5. So like I'm not tight. But does anybody want to take a short break so we can get up, move, stretch, take care of any biological necessities, any of that kind of stuff?
Sure.
Let's do that.
So
we are going to take a 5-minute break, and we will be right back. Currently, we are playing Don't Tell Mom and Dad, which is live right now on Kickstarter. If you are watching on Twitch, I'll drop the link in the chat in just 1 minute so you can go check it out during the break. Also, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, the link is in the description. But we're going to take a 5-minute break to take care of ourselves. You can take a 5-minute break to take care of yourself also too. We're going to come back at the top of the hour, so that's going to be whatever the top of the hour is your local time, 0 minutes. We're going to be back to play some more Don't Tell Mom and Dad.
Sounds great.
If you are watching live right now, or even if you're watching later on, just a couple things to think about as we are on this short little break. That is, just go visit the Kickstarter project for Don't Tell Mom and Dad. If you've been enjoying the stream, want to check it out more, please feel free to hop over to ttrpg.link/donttellks. It's in the description on the video, or I just dropped it in the chat over on Twitch. They have funded, and so this project is going to get made over the course of the next little bit. If you've never backed a Kickstarter project before, this is a great one to hop in on. There's tons of more details on there about how the system works, some images and art, a little bit about all the different things you would want to know as you hop into the game. While you're out there digging around, though, also, too, if you're looking for another project to check out the game that we have live on Gamefound right now. It's just like Kickstarter, except it is focused just on tabletop game content. Down We Go is a minimalist, old-school style RPG that is super low prep for both the GM and the players. It engages in anti-canonical team brewing, which is where you work together to help establish a lot of the details of the setting. It's a great emergent narrative, old school style game that focuses on dungeon crawls in and around the twisting city of Infernopolis, a hungry city that operates on the blood, coin, treasures, and other items brought back out of the dungeons. You can find out more about that at ttrpg.link/DWGLive. It's a great way to help support our channel and the Plus One brand. We'll be right back to play some more Don't Tell Mom and Dad in just one moment. And we are live again here on Plus One EXP playing Don't Tell Mom and Dad. By the way, coming up this Saturday, we are going to be playing a game that's going to be coming to Kickstarter next month called Flabbergasted. It is a 1920s around the world in 80s days style game where you play an up-and-coming social club seeking out mischief, mayhem, and marvelous misadventures. It is done by a couple of awesome sisters over in Europe who have put out a couple of other great games that we're super excited to sit down and play with our team. Come back and join us Saturday morning if you want to check that out. But now let's go ahead and step back into the exciting world of Don't Tell Mom and Dad. Ben, why don't you go ahead and take us away?
Okay, do we have Ted? Is Ted here? Did we lose him?
Yep, I'm right here.
Okay.
On the...
Sorry. Okay, so you guys are outside on the streets of this town right now, all together, 2 skateboards, bike. You see kids scattering around this main stretch that you're at here with the arcade and your department store and your fast food spot. I'm assuming that I'm sorry. Okay, so Ted is here. I feel like we're losing him, but as long as he can hear me, that's fine.
Ted, can you hear us?
Ted, are you there?
He is frozen on the screen. I heard him for a second.
Chunking. We got him chunking over here.
I'm having reconnecting right now, so hopefully we check out soon.
Oh, there's his face. I heard some things. I saw some movement.
Sorry.
All good?
We're here. Yeah, I had some. Interruption, but it's back on. Okay.
You're robotic, Ted.
Yeah, we're getting like every third word.
Every third.
It's still reconnecting. It had a disconnect.
His internet is still reconnecting. You had to disconnect.
Now it looks like I can see consistent motion on your.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Okay. Am I back up now?
Yep.
Yeah, it's look. Sorry, I lost my my internet just disconnected and the connection went fuzzy, but it looks like it came back and it's strong.
Mhm.
So.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
So, as I was saying, you guys are basically on the streets of your town, plus Oneville. You guys have the option of going where you want to go at this point. You're all together. It's starting to get dark out. You do have that dinner that you need to be going to, Tony. But how this typically works in general, if you want, you can feel free to, for the cost of a quarter, you can use a payphone and call home if you want to make up some excuse of why you couldn't make dinner.
Yeah, I'll call. And which one of my 11 siblings picks up the phone?
We're gonna say Corey number 2 does. The second Corey. Yeah. What's the last name of your family?
It is Mackerson, I think.
Mackerson residence. Corey Mackerson speaking. How can we help you?
Hey, Corey, will you tell Sandy to tell Corey 1 to tell Billy to tell Mom that I am not going to be home for dinner, and not to worry. I'm just going to spend the night at Vincent's house.
Okay. Oh, Vincent, the kid in the nice neighborhood. Well, I guess you're not going to have any pepperoni pizza then. And you hear him screaming, "I get max slices," and hangs up the phone on you.
Cool.
You are good.
Speaking of pepperoni pizzas, because I'm convinced there's vampires, I do want to stop by the local pizzeria and buy a bunch of garlic knots.
Okay. So that's, since we just have the non-disclosed fast food, we're going to say that that's the pizza shop. Because, I don't believe there's a specific pizza shop in the town. Yeah. So the fast food is Rosario's Pizza. You're there. There's a couple people inside. You got the guy making the pizzas. Hey, how can I do for you?
I just need like a half dozen garlic knots.
All right, $1.50. You want them heated up? You want marinara?
No marinara. You know what? I'll take a dozen though. Heat them up for me.
$3. Take 3 seconds. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. $3. You can pay up front.
All right.
Okay, so the 3 minutes flies by. You get handed in a wrapped up foil, like it was like a big spin of tin foil that they just kind of like throw the dozen in and wrap it all in itself, so it's like a ball, and that'll take up one space in your backpack.
Cool.
Dude, I didn't know you were so hungry.
I mean, half of these are for us, half of these are for any vampires we run across.
So eating food is a way to gain a health point back, for you, Jasper, or telling you, Campbell, to know that game. Eating a slice of pizza, eating things like that is a good way to get a quick hit point back. But right now, Mac is in possession of those garlic knots. So you're looking at him and you're licking your lips.
Oh, I'm sure I got an extra half dozen so that we could each have 2.
Okay.
Aw. And I'm gonna give him $1.
And so the more we talk about vampires, the more nervous Vincent's getting about there being an actual fight going down. And I don't have too many points in those skills. I want to try to grab some sugar while I'm here.
Okay.
So I can get some soda. Are there any other candy bars or anything at the counter?
Yeah, sure. they've got some candy bars at the counter. 75 cents per bar, $1 for a fountain soda.
All right. 2 candies and a fountain soda.
Right on. Thank you guys very much. Now they hand you the cup, and you can go to fill the fountain yourself. Now I'm going to say that if you want, you can choose any soda that you'd like, or if you want, you can pull a suicide, which is to hit every flavor across the line. And if you pull a suicide, it'll give you a +2 to your sugar rush, as opposed to a +1.
Yeah, I'm on board.
I'm gonna do the same thing.
You're gonna pull a suicide too.
I'm gonna pull suicide. I'm gonna put that
Pops
that guy's money to good use.
Mine is just pink lemonade and root beer mixed together.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's an amazing combination. The next time you're out and want to be a kid again, pink lemonade and root beer.
Right on. All right, so you're getting jazzed up right now. You guys are hitting your next phase. It's getting, the nighttime is coming. You're all good. You're all covered. I don't know if you heard Vincent, but Mac did say he's going to be spending your place. You were
I heard
for a while. Yeah, I wasn't sure if you heard. So you guys are slamming your cups. You're getting all sugar rushed. With such a psycho mixture of pink lemonade and root beer, I'll say that that's suicide worthy as well. So you guys each get to fill in 2 bubbles of your sugar rush meter. So now you get a +1 to any of your base level skills of the style of kid you are. So each one, so the jock's main skills are strength, speed. I believe it's strength, speed,
hand to hand, and sneak.
Yeah, I think it's definitely sneak. So the jock is strength, speed, sneak, and hand-eye coordination. Rascal, you're going to be getting naturally better at bravery rolls, break-in rolls, stealing, and attacking. And Vincent, you are going to be getting better at creativity, snoop, lying, and charming.
Okay.
So you each get a +1 sugar rush, sugar high bonus to that. You guys are blazing.
Yeah, my character's fear is that. Should I say what the fear is if it's relevant? My character's fear is ghosts.
Okay, so
so we're going to a cemetery. So
right. So is anyone else? What? Throw out some other fears right now. What do you guys have as a fear?
I've got needles.
Needles.
Thunder and lightning.
Okay. Excellent. So you guys, are you just heading to, what are you doing now? You're all jacked up. What's the mission?
Go to the classic kid mission mindset. Go to the cemetery, kill the vampires, free the cats.
Okay. Are you guys with that?
Yeah, I'm absolutely on board.
Okay.
Yep.
You guys blow it to the straight to the church cemetery. It's both connected. You have this nice like church chapel like setting. It's a Catholic church, so it's way ornate and like over the top, and you're seeing where all this money is going in this town. And connected to it is a graveyard that is virtually empty right now. But the thing that's more peculiar is at this church, even on a Friday evening, there is a group of cars here. It seems like there may be some sort of service going on, but you're not seeing anything. There's no people out front. There's no people in suits. It looks like it would be pretty much an empty church that wouldn't have anyone there, but you're noticing at least a dozen cars scattered across the lot.
So
if you would like to glean more information, I'm going to need some snoop rolls.
Vampires can't go into the church, so they're probably just around back.
Let's see, can I try using sneak to try and like get a closer look at what was going on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Give me a sneak roll.
It's 8 plus 4, 12.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you're sneaking around because it's not an active parking lot. It's peculiar that you're seeing these, and what you're able to, as you're sneaking around, you notice that there is actually up around the side a large, like 14 passenger van that is labeled the Jenkin +1ville Jenkin Old Folks Home. That's what you're able to glean from sneaking around. What do you other guys do?
I was wondering if the hearse we saw leaving is one of these cars.
Give me a snoop roll.
17. Ooh, that's a well over a 20.
Yeah, that hearse is there. It's parked around the side where the old folks van is. It's not in the lot.
I've gone to the back of the building.
You've swung around to the back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like they're like snooping around, looking at the old folks home thing, looking at the thing, and then classic Mac maneuver. I've just split to the back of the building between them.
Right on.
I see him trudging along, and I'm like face palming. I'm just gonna get killed.
Okay, so no activity around the back. The door is shut. Just as peeking, you can't see through anything because there's stained glass. So you're not able to peek through the windows, but there are doors there, and it seems dead. It seems like things are dead.
They must be in their graves.
Anyone else trying to do some more? You've been sneaking around and finding some stuff. You've lost Mac. Mac has brazenly gone to the back behind the cemetery or behind the church. I'm sorry.
So we're not even hearing anything or seeing any lights or anything like that.
You've got to give me a snoop roll if you're if you're heading around the back, and yeah, let me know what you find if you're snooping around. Let's see.
Okay, I got what is that? I need better light here. Oh, I got 19 on the snoop roll.
Okay. So, as you work your way around the back and you see Mac there, kind of like eyeing up the stained glass. Maybe he'll kickflip through it. He's psycho. You don't know what he's going to do. He's capable of anything. You press your ear to the door, and you do hear rumblings. In fact, it's very muffled through the steel door, but it almost sounds like you're hearing a rhythm or a hymn. You're not able to hear what's exactly being said, but you can tell that sonically it's happening to a rhythm. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum.
I'm gonna try and wave Vincent over.
All right, I want to know what you found.
Yeah, I'm like, listen, do you hear that?
So I put my ear up and
yeah.
I'm freaked out, but I also have this. I'm feeling like we're onto something, so I'm motivated to check this out.
Yeah. All the while, Jasper is like rationalizing to himself that ghosts don't make music, so this is probably okay.
Coast is clear in terms of ghost, but things are starting to amp up a bit and get a bit scary.
Yeah.
But here you are at this door. You hear something. It seems like the church is closed. The lights were off. You can't see in, but you're hearing something going on the inside there.
I've got my lacrosse stick out and I'm like poking at one of the nearby recently planted graves, like trying to see if anything's come out of it.
No, yeah, you stick around. Nothing's happening. You're just a kid playing with dirt in a cemetery right now.
And you said because of the stained glass, like there's no way to see in what we're.
There's no way to visually peer in because it's got this like wonderful ornate, like multicolored with like Saint Michael like slaying a beast on there, and you can't see through.
Okay.
There's a rumbling on the inside.
Oh, were there keys attached to the chain wallet?
What a good question. Yes.
I'm gonna take a look. Would like to take a look at the keys to see it. Well, first I wanted like very gently to see if the door is locked or not.
Door is locked.
Okay. I'm gonna try and like compare the keys and see if I can see if there's one that would open up the door.
Yeah. You're kind of going through. It's never the first one, and it wouldn't be that one. And this is definitely a bike key, and this is a this and that. And then you do see this brass key that looks like it's different than the others. A little more ornate on the base, base of the key. It seems like this could be the one.
Like, y'all ready for this?
Bated breath.
Mac.
What?
Come over here, quietly.
Run over. What?
I got a key.
Okay.
And I like slide it. And I'm just going to try and open it as quietly as possible.
The key enters, turns and clicks, and the door slowly creaks open, and you're staring into immediate darkness. In order to step in, I'm going to need a fear check from everyone.
Okay.
And,
go ahead and walk us through how that works.
Okay, so a fear check is going to be whatever your bravery. It is essentially a bravery roll. And if you fail the bravery roll, then it's a tick on your scared-o-meter. With every several ticks on your scared-o-meter, you start to get blanket negative penalties. Okay. So just down the line, no matter what you're trying to do, it's not like this skill or that skill. You're just scared shitless, and everything becomes that much harder. So your +5s become +4s, and eventually +3s until you've maxed out, which is then you're literally crap your pants scared and finally need to leave the situation. Now, how this also works is this is environmental. Your fear checks work as environmental hazards. So you are crossing a threshold into the unknown right now. And if you fail this first fear check, it will be maybe just one tick. But as you're in this space, it will continue to tick up with each fail. They're going to start to come. The fear checks are going to start to come pretty regularly now with everything that you want to do. If you leave the situation and go back to the arcade or go home, your fear clears. You're not stuck with it forever. It's just in the here and now as things are starting to amp up and get tense.
Okay.
So in order to cross the threshold into the darkness, I'm going to need fear checks from everyone.
Okay. Bravery. So we just bravery plus the D20?
Yeah, D20. It's yes, D20 plus bravery.
I rolled a 12.
I got a 17.
Okay.
I got a 4 and +1 because of the sugar, because that's bravery is one of my things. So I got a 15.
Okay. Mac, you're feeling jittery about this. You've been really brazen and confident for all this, and you think you're about to be taking on some vampires with garlic knots, and before you know it, shit's gotten real. and now you're inside a dark building as the sun has gone down, and you're hearing this from the distance. You're hearing this deep within the building. In order for you guys to move around without being heard, obviously I'm going to need some sneak checks.
Ooh. That's a natural 1, so...
A natural 1.
Yeah.
I rolled a 23.
Okay. So you rolled a 20.
I got a 20. Yeah, I got a 22.
Okay. So... Jasper and Mac, you guys give a big gulp. Shit is real. You calm yourselves. You start to walk deeper and deeper into this. As you're getting in, you realize you're in the rectory behind the altar. You've entered through the back. You're seeing a line of robes. You're seeing the tabernacle. Things, there's a little mini refrigerator there. There's a set of chairs. There's a desk. You guys are sleuthing to the... You realize now, as you're in this area and you've gotten closer to this, you're actually hearing what's happening. And you're hearing the pounding of a drum, while above it, choral cast, you hear a chorus of people going, Petrus, Yamatus, Petrus, Yamatus, Petrus, Yamatus. And you're starting to actually hear some sort of demonic choral chant. I'm going to need you guys to give me another fear roll upon shivers down your spine.
14.
We have something separate for you.
19.
Awesome. Pass.
Oh, natural. No, that's a 9. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Okay. So you guys are good. You still are like, whoa, looking at each other. And as you guys have your ears pressed against this door and you realize on the other side is this altar, there is a catastrophic crash sound behind you as you realize that Vincent, upon trying to sneak in, has blindly knocked over one of the ornamental wingback chairs that is in the back room, and it crashes into the tabernacle and makes a cacophonous noise. And you guys, if you do not want to be noticed, you must all make a
what?
Okay.
a hide roll. You
Hide.
have a moment to run and hide.
All right.
I'm looking for 13 or higher on this.
Okay.
What do we got?
I rolled a 14, and with my skill, it's 17. Sorry. Yeah, 17.
I roll underneath the altar cloth, underneath the altar, and there's no altar cloth at all. I'm just right there. I rolled a 7 flat.
Okay. Ted, what did you roll?
14.
Okay. So, boom, into the cloakroom closet, Jasper goes. Ted, behind one of the other wingback chairs, you go. Looking left, looking right, looking left, looking right. Mac just dives under the tabernacle table, not even taking a second to realize that when that wingback chair came down, it both pulled the tabernacle off the top of it and yanked the ornamental cloth that was covering it. So, with fingers crossed, he's hoping that nothing will happen. And the pounding stopped. The Britus Yamatus stops. And you guys are sitting there in dead silence as you hear again a door crick open, and you're starting to hear footsteps traversing through this room. Jasper, you're in the closet with the closet doors like closed, but they have that just like in all your classic horror movies.
The slats.
Slotted, yeah, it's like that slotted thing. So you can see a figure in a cloak walk through the room. Ted, you're not able to peek out and see anything because you're too shit scared, but you're hearing the footsteps. Mac, you hear the footsteps as well, and your eyes are insta closed, and you're like praying to God, and the footsteps stop. And it seems as if the coast is clear. And then the cord from your power glove gets yanked, and you get pulled out from underneath the tabernacle thing by your power glove as you're going. So you can either right now pull the strap on your power glove and clear yourself, or you can get up and face what you have being grabbed by this person.
I think I'm going to stand up and face what I have, but I think what I'm going to do is take the garlic knot that I have in my power glove and just try to slam it right in their face.
Okay.
I don't even register what it is. I'm just hand to the face area. That's my only plan.
Okay. So give me an attack roll. You're doing a rush attack.
That is 15 plus something.
Okay.
15 plus 3.
Plus 3. Okay. So totally caught off guard as this person's like, what the hell is this cord here? Yanks on it, pulling you out with it. You hop to your feet and you slam a garlic knot into this guy's face. And he's like, oh, God!
I said, take that, Dracula!
and the cloak, like, hood of the cloak, like, falls back, and you see that it's the hardware store owner of the town, Mr. Samuels, takes a garlic knot in the face and smash, taking a hit point, and he stumbles back and just goes like, puh, puh, puh. There's kids in here, and then you hear a crowd of people start to like stammer and scream from the other side of this door, and you're hearing a deep voice, calm down, everyone, calm down, calm down. This is all part of the big plan. This is all part of the big plan. And you get, actually, I don't want to just assume that. 13, what is to hit you?
19.
19? Okay. So this person swats at you, and doesn't get a hold of you yet, but he still has you by this cord of yours. But like he tried to grab you in and grab you, but was not able to, and you're fighting away, and he still has you by the cord, but he has you at 4 or 5 foot distance away as you're pulling away with this power glove. Guys, you are seeing this happen right now. Jasper, you are able to get an attack with an advantage since you are hidden enough to be in this closet, and he has his back to you. Vincent, for you, in order to do something, you're going to have to be seen. You don't get the same advantage. But you're seeing, Mac pulling away. Like, you vampire!
Mr. Samuels
Mac
is
is
a
getting
vampire!
pulled by the guy in the robe, okay. Think I'm going to try and come out and like pull on the power cord and like shoulder.
Yeah. Shoulder.
Person.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's going to be an attack roll then. You're
Okay.
going to grab and slam, so it's going to be a straight up attack roll.
Alrighty.
And you're getting an additional +1 to whatever your other bonuses are due to that sneak attack.
Okay, so that is just going to be Oh, no. I put 3 in attack. Okay. Still not good. It's only going to be 8.
And 8? Okay, I mean, you come in hard and you go to, like, nudge this dude, but he's a full-grown adult. He takes your blow and is literally like, there's multiple kids back here. He's, like, alarming people. You have a chance to do something right now, Vincent, before this battle changes here.
So how far away exactly are they?
Well, you're all within a room that's maybe 12 by 14 feet, maybe 14 by 18. So you're in a confined space. Everything is within a close range in terms of close or far in battle.
Yeah, I'm gonna get up, and I have my skateboard under my arms. I'm just gonna use that as a weapon, and to try to take out.
Okay. So
yeah. So I've got my +1 from my Sugar Rush, and I've got +1 from my skateboard. That's the only bonuses I have, though. So
okay. So +2.
Yeah. All right. So 16.
Okay. So you come across this. The 3 kids is too much for the Jenkins hardware. You come across and you knock with your skateboard this dude's arm, and he lets out a howling scream. Ow! And drops the cord. Now you've been freed, Mac. And the 3 of you are there. And as that's happening, a flood of other cloaked individuals enter this room. There's about 6 of them. And you're staring down the barrel of 6 cloaked adults that are coming at you hard. Let me actually see if any of these get a fast advantage. Okay, so one of them out of these 6 who blows through, I just knocked something over, sorry about that, takes the lead and literally leaps right at you, Ted, the one who he witnessed strike his friend, and grabs you at the collar with a 17. What is it to?
Yeah, so my defense is 11. So
okay, so grabs you by the scuff of your collar. Good. Says, "I've got one." The other 2 of you have an opportunity of doing something before the others pounce on you guys.
I'm going to take my lacrosse ball and just try to bounce it off, bounce it off the wall behind one of them and into the back of their head.
Hell yeah. Sounds like a plan. Give me a hand die.
That is a 24.
Plink. So one of them coming in from behind the others, comes running in super brazen as you've been, and is going to leap at Jasper, and as he does, can't even wrap his head around the direction that he just got hit, because he's looking at the 3 kids, and he just got blown from behind, boom, and hits the ground face down. So now there's one grabbing Vincent, and there's 5 others that are standing up and 1 on the ground, because there's 7 total. You guys are getting overwhelmed right now.
I'm gonna be like, we just want to know where the cats are.
Cats? Upon you doing that and spending your turn trying to negotiate, they completely encircle you guys, and they grab you all, and they drag you through the doors to the altar. As the doors swing open and you're staring at this giant thing, you see that they have the front of this church all blocked off, and they have the pews pulled away, and there is a group of cloaked individuals that are in a line. There's about 15 of them in a line now, and at the top on the center altar, you notice a more ornamental robed figure who's sitting like this, very still, and on the altar in front of them are 4 cats being very cutely sitting there, meow meow, and you notice that it kind of goes like this as you're sitting down and thrown on the ground on your knees. there's a group of cloaked individuals that are doing your Petrus, Yamatus, Petrus, and one of them is hitting a drum, and you have your cloaked figure at the top doing these like religious symbolism, like, you know, sigils with their hands, and you have the cats, and then you have a group of super elderly old people sitting in wheelchairs in a line. There's 4 cats and there's 4 old people in front of the cats. And just in time, the person says, sit, as there's nothing you can do. Upon gaining, so I need a fear check from everyone. A lot's happening here right
Yeah.
Are any of these cats Fluff Daddy?
Yes.
Ooh, so that,
15.
11.
Okay.
Oh, natural 20.
Oh, okay.
Finally.
So, so this is the deal. This is how we're going to play this, since this is good. You're going to erase a fear point from you. You get a cool point. And if at any point you want to use that cool point during this like encounter that you have, I will allow you to do that. You know what I mean? No questions asked. But as of now, you're behaving. It didn't look like you super cool, you know what I mean, did anything. You're just calm, cool, collected, and you're in better condition than both the others. Vincent, you take a fear point with 11.
Yeah.
And
I'm just acting like I got sent to detention. That's all.
yeah, so you guys are both sitting on your knees, like on your feet, on your knees, lined up, looking at this in front of you, while you have cloaked figures around you. And there's this red and black cloaked figure with all of these sigils on top of you, starting to say, this is no, everyone calm down, calm down. This is not a problem at all. We are going to continue as usual, and everything will be just fine.
I look at the two of you and I say, hey guys.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're vampires.
More like bitches to me.
Something real weird is going on with anything I've seen in comic books.
Boom! The drum hits. Petrus nu caninus nus Petrus. Boom, boom, hearing the drum. You guys are frozen solid as it starts with the one cat at the edge. Fluff Daddy is third cat in. Right now we have Bort. We have the cat Bort that you notice from one of the things, and Bort is a real cute, full orange tabby cat that's very, very fat. And he grabs the cat, and it's kind of hanging there. And he goes, from the power of the canine life, we shall take the cat's extra 9 lives and give forth that to the old geriatric, giving life again upon sacrifice. And then as he pulls the cat back down, he reveals his face is now no longer human, but he's actually has like an Anubis-style dog head that he is in, and his jaw opens up, and he swallows the cat whole in. And as swallowing it, he starts to like glow big, and then everyone starts going, Petrus, Yamatus, Petrus, Amanamatus. And as he's glowing, as this dog, he places his hands on the shoulders of the old geriatric person in the wheelchair in front of him, and this energy starts to transfer into the old person. And as it's happening, you're seeing wrinkles leave the body, and they like stand up from this wheelchair, and they're able to like have full life, and they're like, oh yeah, and they start dancing and like pulling a dance with like extra life. And he says, see the power of the dog gods. You see what they do. All of this extra life that these cats have, these 9 lives, go to waste. We can use them to give power to the old. And of course, the youth is here, as you all see, trying to stop us now. What do you think you could do to stop this? Now, the three of you are still sitting there. I'm giving you an ability as this person is now, their face has turned back from dog to human. And he's going back and like opening up the page of a book and starting to read hymns again. And everyone is in a trance, kind of going back and forth, while this old person is doing like a straight up like GO down, like, oh, I got life in me. I got life for the years to come.
So I'm overcome now with like sort of the desperation and rage of seeing Fluff Daddy so close to me that I can't help myself but to wail out sort of Fluff Daddy and like reach, even though I probably am not going to be able to grab.
Okay. Yeah, that's, you cry out for Fluff Daddy.
Yeah.
No one is paying attention. Like, after this ritual has happened, this one person is just dancing for joy, and everyone else seems to be locked in meditation, going back and forth, and they're all with that high pitch, Mama Doozy Druce, and he's going, and the drummer is just hitting the big timpani drum, boom, boom, boom.
Sorry.
So what would you like to do as you have a moment?
I have the cherry bomb still. If everybody is kind of like enraptured right now, I would like to try and like definitely use my cool point for this to like try and like light it and then toss it somewhere so it could cause an explosion.
Yeah.
And that would allow us to grab the remaining 3 cats.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So with using a cool point, typically there is a whole firework mechanic of lighting the fuse where you have 30 seconds to roll a certain number. But you're using a cool point. So you're going to burn that cool point and be able to do anything you want with this cherry bomb, right?
I gotta pitch, Campbell.
Yeah. Roll it over to you.
No, actually the opposite. So like I love the idea of like I see you lighting it and like I see the fuse wearing down and I just like kick my lacrosse stick like off the ground where they put it, like up towards you.
Oh, to have them fling it?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Right on.
All right, that sounds cool. Following the rules cool here.
Okay, yeah. So where are you trying to fling this cherry bomb?
How close is Anubis dude to the other cats?
Anubis dude is by the other cats, but if you were to fling this at Anubis dude with your natural 20 cool point, you would be able to blast Anubis without hurting any of the cats.
That's what I'm gonna. That's what I want to do. I want to, if you disgrace the cult leader, the cult falls apart.
Okay, and you're just trying to hit it at him? Are you trying to hit him somewhere specific? Are you trying to land it at his feet? Are you trying to maybe?
I want to try and flip it into his hood.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
no, that might be a bit much.
I mean, if you say so.
Yeah. I mean, we actually he did actually just swallow a cat, so yeah. Okay, yeah.
All right. So, waiting for your chance, guys. You're both sitting down. I'm imagining how I see it on my screen right now is exactly how it is. I don't know how it is for you, but I have Tony, and then Campbell, and then Ted. So you're in the center, Campbell. And looks like we're having some chunky head issues here.
Yeah.
You with us?
I'm back in. Yeah, I'm on a worse camera, but should be better logistically.
You've heard of second breakfast. We had second Ted for a second.
Yeah. Few people are so lucky.
So this is it. This is the moment of truth right now. The creature with his eyes closed, doing as he's doing this, his face is starting to extend, and almost like that scene where James Earl Jones is turning into the snake in Conan, where his like face is stretching and there's like that cult music playing. He's starting to become the dog again, and right in the moment that he finishes his line and becomes the dog head, he howls up, "Ow!" You flip, looking up right through the side. You flick a lit cherry bomb right into his collar, and he goes, "Oh, did someone hear something?" And then, boom! Explosion. Drops immediately to the ground. The cloak blows open from the back of his head, and his face slams down onto the altar, and he drops to the ground. And everyone starts screaming like crazy. And it's total pandemonium in this church. And the old person who was dancing literally like does a slow turnaround to like look at what just happened, as everyone, they're in their own like euphoric state while everyone else is completely caught off guard. The music stopped, the hymn stops. Everyone is wondering what the hell just happened as dog meat goes flying everywhere, all over you guys. You have a moment in this pandemonium to try to pull something off.
Grab a cat and run.
Yeah, I want to grab Fluff Daddy. Absolutely. So
Right on.
what do we need to do for that?
I'm going to call that steal. I'm going to say steal rolls down the line. Steal the
All
cat.
right.
Okay.
They say save the cat. This is steal the cat.
Ooh.
I want to try to chuck a one of my other lacrosse balls, because I wrote down multiple, into the pipe organ pipes, so it starts creating like just massive amounts of noise in the back of the church.
Give me a hand-eye roll.
That is 23.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a
With a 23, it actually like plinkos in the pipes and is making its own rhythm. It's going like boom, 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 boom. So you're just adding to the sound. So you essentially just gave the group another round to do something. I'm sorry, Jasper. Or Campbell? What did you roll for Jasper?
Sorry. Yeah, I got a 24.
Yeah, you gank a cat. You grab Ruka. You've got Ruka by the scuff of her back. And I imagine you start booking it. Vince, what are you doing here?
14. I went to steal the cat, rolled a 14.
Okay.
No bonuses, so.
Are you just grabbing a random cat, or are you going for your baby?
I'm going for Fluff Daddy. Absolutely.
Okay.
But I'm gonna save cats if I can't for some reason get to Fluff Daddy.
Yeah, no, you're able to grab Fluff Daddy, but now that each of you have one in your hand and there's one on the altar. But yeah, you guys have the cats and you're ready to run. There's total pandemonium all around you. People are rushing to the somewhat headless dog priest. And people are crying and screaming. Yeah, this would be your time to try to pull anything else off. It's going to be back to you, Mac.
I mean, as we're on it, I mean, I want to book it towards the exit. I think we've done.
Yeah. Okay.
I've mapped everything Mac knows to do.
Okay, so everyone, give me a speed roll.
20.
9.
16.
20. Someone said got a 9.
9.
Okay. And a 16. Boom. If that was a natural 20, you get a cool point, obviously, Tony. You guys book it. Mac, Campbell, you're gone. You're through the swinging doors. You blow through the tower. You head out through the back. You're staring in a graveyard. Where you have a cat in your hand, a fluffy tabby cat. Mac, you've got your lacrosse stick in yours. But Vincent is not with you. Vincent, as you blow through the room, through the double doors from the altar, you like head up and out. You start to go, and as you are running, you feel a grab on the back of your backpack. So one of these cloakers has you by your backpack right now as you have your cat in your hand. And it is a struggle. I'm going to say it's going, if you want to fight out of this, we're going to have a against each other D20 strength roll.
Roll off.
Or you can dump your backpack. You can let go of your backpack and take off. But you either need to lose your backpack forevermore or for the night. You know, you want to, if that's another mission for you to get your backpack back, you can either lose your backpack and take off, or you need to, go into a battle of strength with this guy.
And is there any point in trying to turn and say, don't you know what it's like to love a cat so much that you wouldn't want anything bad to happen to it?
How can I say no to that? If you want to charm this person, you turn around and you give those big doe kid eyes and you try to charm this person into letting you go. Because right now, it's only you and them in that tabernacle room.
Yeah.
So it's not a group of people like you went through the pandemonium. Only one person followed you, and it's you versus them. So if you want to try to charm instead of roll, you give it to me.
All right. I'm going to, and so I normally have nothing in charm. That was where I stacked my weirdo points away from that. But I've got my sugar bonus, if that's still in effect, and something else for charm. Well, I've got the sugar bonus. Yeah, I think that's what I have.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, let's go for it then.
And it's a 7.
Yeah. It's too late for that now. There's been cats going for years. We've been doing this forever and we'll continue to do it forever. Our parents need to live nice lives. These parents, they need to be healthy. We can't have them dying on us.
Can we have, as they're in the middle of monologuing, my last lacrosse ball come flying out of the darkness?
And maybe like followed up with like a spray can blast.
So I'm going to keep monologuing, and then you give me your number as I'm monologuing. We've been doing this for generations.
18.
Boom! Takes a shot off. Let's go of you. Before you know it, you're literally standing there with your cat. Meow! And this person is blacked out on the ground in front of you. You didn't see the thing come. You just saw it bounce off the head. You don't know, it was a lacrosse ball, so you have an idea of who did it, but you couldn't see. So it's your turn to run now. Take off if you want.
I'm going to try to run again now that I just got saved like that, right?
You're good to run. You blow through the door. You're in the back, and the three of you are in the cemetery right now as you're hearing screaming and pandemonium.
Are the doors handles, or are they like bars?
No, it's actually like ornamental brass, like swung handles that you actually like quarter turn.
Okay.
So yes.
I'm gonna take my jump rope out of my bag and tie the handles together.
Oh yeah, great idea. So you have those doors locked. You've lost your jump rope, but the three of you were there with 2 out of the 4 cats. You have, what did I say you have? I believe you have Ruka.
Yeah, Ruka.
Jasper, and you've got Sir Fluff Daddy. You guys are there. You're in the graveyard right now.
Fluff Daddy, I didn't think I'd ever see you again.
And let's get out of here, please.
Yeah.
With your wonderful victory, you guys keep your head high. And are you gonna head back to your clubhouse?
I think on the way I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna call the police on a payphone.
Yeah. Awesome. So, garlic knot in mouth, you head yourself over to the payphone that's at the fast food place right across from the church cemetery. And yeah, +1 Ville Police. How can we do for you?
I heard an explosion at the church.
Explosion at the church? You
Yeah.
kidding me? This is for real?
Yeah.
What are people doing at the church? It's Friday night, for goodness sake.
I don't know. I heard an explosion. There's a bunch of cars there.
We're going to need a name for this, for the person who's calling this in. So what's your name here, buddy?
Yeah, my name is Corey Arcadesman.
Corey Arcadesman. That's it. If you're lying to us, you're going to jail. Click. Hang up. And I mean, we can basically end scene right here if we want.
Yeah, everybody's welcome to come back to my place, celebrate with the safe return of my cat. I think Max already told his parents he's spending the night, so let's pizza party.
And I'm gonna
the party at Vincent's house in the gated community.
Yep. I'm gonna drop off Rucka and
yeah. Hell yes.
Awesome. Well, we're going to do our reaction roll. Reaction roll is a live stream within a live stream. It's our chance to sit down with the creators of a game that we just played and talk to them a little bit about what our thoughts were about that game. Today we are playing Don't Tell Mom and Dad, which is a game that's funding right now over on Kickstarter. You can find out more about it down at the link right below my face. That's ttrpg.link /donttellks. Also, it's in the description of the video if you're watching this later, and I'll drop it in the chat in just 1 second here live over on Twitch. But let's hear from the actual creators. Ted, tell us a little bit kind of the elevator pitch of Don't Tell Mom and Dad.
Yeah, so the elevator pitch is a role-playing game where players create a small town together and then role play as kids to save it from aliens, monsters, and other shady figures in dark cloaks.
That's awesome. And once again, our friends from Dice, Drinks, and Drama have just rated us right after we finished playing the game, but you're just in time for the reaction roll to hear us talk about this awesomely fun game that we just played, Don't Tell Mom and Dad. So we've got Ted. We also have Ben. Ben, tell us what some of your inspirations were for Don't Tell Mom and Dad.
Well, as we were saying before, we're big analog and VHS heads, and I mean, we grew up as movie buffs, and there's certainly a lot of talk about Stranger Things and stuff like that, but this really came from a place much deeper and long before that for us. So really being able to have that fun, when we got into creating games and designing them, I was always looking for something that wasn't your typical high fantasy, barbarians, wizards, thieves. Like, those are, believe me, I played D&D since I was 12. It's the best. But like, we're specifically looking for something beyond that. And there just seemed like there was, when we were creating our first game for real, it felt like we wanted to put constrictions on ourselves. And that started to really manifest itself pretty metaphorically when we're like, well, let's start at the beginning. Like, how does this start? Like, well, let's actually condense this to the point where it's not an infinite universe. It's in one place. Like, so that's how we kind of found, like, oh, what if it took place in a small town? And if you brought out all these different places within this small town, there's still 20, 30, 40 places that you can visit that have a revisit value. You get to learn that Mr. Jenkins runs the hardware store. Things like that. Also, being able to put constrictions on the player was fun, and a very natural way to do that is to make them a kid with curfews, with authority figures that they can't do, with getting scared in big situations. So it was kind of a no-brainer once we started designing this game, things started to fall into place really big. But I mean, if I was going to call things out that were like the real impetus, inspiration, like pieces of media, it would probably definitely be Monster Squad, Lost Boys, The Gate, Paper Girls, the comic, things that have these kind of high concept, either fantasy or sci-fi conceits that will allow a kid to be a kid. And if you've already supported our Kickstarter, you'll know that with our updates, we've been releasing these reviews of these VHS era gems that, like, of course, you know Monster Squad and Lost Boys, but you may have never heard of the movie Remote from 1992, where a kid fends his stomping grounds off from a bunch of bumbling burglars with his RC devices, his RC cars and stuff. So, like, we're trying to bring light into that world. And, I mean, it's kind of what me and Ted do anyway. We write, VHS reviews. He runs Lunch Meat. So it's kind of trying to get that retro aesthetic that we grew up with a little bit of the grit and grime and non-mainstream, like, thoughts.
Awesome. I love it. Like I said, you guys have already funded over on Kickstarter. We'd love to people to go back the game, though. Again, you can go to the link right below my face to be able to do that. We had Ben running tonight. We had Ted joining us as a player, but we also had Campbell with us. Campbell, tell people who you are, what you do, where they can find you online, but most importantly, tell us what it was like to play Don't Tell Mom and Dad.
Let's see. Campbell Kennedy, you can find me on YouTube at SJ Thunder Warrior, also hanging out. I admin at the I'm Begging You to Play Another RPG group on Facebook. So definitely come in, check us out down there. But as far as this game goes, I loved playing this game. This was a blast. I was reading through the rule book, and I was getting the first thing that I thought was Monster Squad. Mm-hmm. That was like, oh, Monster Squad, and Stranger Things too. But I was also thinking about another game that was like a spin-off game for Cyberpunk 2020 called Cyber Generation, and this had a lot of similar feel to it, which was a game that I loved. I love playing. So this was really great. It was a really fun adventure. Thank you so much for bringing me in on this. And I'm really looking forward to seeing more, like diving into more of this kind of games. I'm still, I was like a World of Darkness head for a long time, so like I'm just kind of imagining like wrapping this in a kind of like World of Darkness setting.
Oh, I'd like to talk about that. That could be fun. I would like.
Yeah, we'll talk. And I was also getting ideas of a game of taking this from like a suburban environment into an urban one as well, because I'm living, like right now, I live in the Bronx, and I'm just always thinking like, okay, there's elements that I can pull, and then some things that could be added on, some additional complications. So that, it was inspiring. So thank you for that, both of you.
Did you have any questions you wanted to ask Ben or Ted? Also, by the way, if anybody's watching has any questions about the game, feel free to type them in the chat down below.
Yeah, please do. Absolutely. I'm curious to get your thoughts, Tony.
Yeah, I've got him in a second. I just want to make sure. Campbell, did you have any questions you wanted to ask?
No, not right now. I feel like y'all really hit on them in the descriptions and in the gameplay. And the simplified it's just great.
Yeah,
it was a great experience. I had a blast.
Yeah,
so thank you for that. I
also thoroughly enjoyed it. I didn't know I had min-maxed my character when I created them because I paid attention to thematic things. Yeah. I didn't realize I'd given myself a ton of hit points and almost an inability to be hit also too.
What was your number, if you don't mind me asking?
On speed?
Yeah, like your speed and
my speed was 8.
Okay, yeah. So you maxed. Okay, it was like full max. You went to the 8.
Yeah, I went to the 8. Yeah, and so at one point I had written a 9 and then realized I couldn't do that. Yeah. But I was like, I'm just gonna go like fast character. That's gonna be my whole thematic thing. And then Strength I had like 6 or something. Like I had gone pretty heavily in those two. No, strength I had done 4. And then I'd done like good hand-eye and good, like all the things jocks are good at. I did pretty well and just kind of laid it right in there. I think there's only one thing I put 1 point in. I kept everything pretty consolidated. But it's fun. I usually don't gravitate towards like the jockey hitter character. I like the weirdos and the rascals. I loved the 4 classes or the 4 character types, which were jock, weirdo, rascal, and which one am I forgetting?
Nerd.
Which provided some great flavor, some great core kind of pieces to pull together. Even if you had a party with numerous of them, you could flavor them very differently from each other, or even go against archetype really easily with the way that it's set up. So, I mean, like I said, just really phenomenal. It also, I mean, it took maybe 15 minutes to create a character the first time around, and a lot of that was reading through the rules, which I can do pretty quickly, but I think for the average person sitting down, this would be a very approachable game. And then the bonuses, like, again, you can say, like, I'm going to put an 8 in this, which means that I have an overwhelming chance of rolling a decent roll on this thing, like an almost negligible chance of failure, a 75% easily chance of success in most situations. And that's a really cool ability to say, I just know this is the go-to thing my character can usually do, even knowing that's going to make you not as good at other things. And you're playing kids, so that makes sense. I loved all the thematic pieces of like getting scared causes you to run home. You eventually get broken, which is a broken bone, which takes you out of play for the next couple of months, but is oftentimes like the stake for kids in a movie. I was trying to remember the name of Monster Squad the entire time I was reading this. I was like, what was that movie?
Kick him in the nards.
It's such a great one. But it captured the feel. The other thing is like combat flowed very smoothly. It was very, very quick. It wasn't belabored, which I think for this weight of game, especially with the thematic pieces, you don't want these long back and forths. Like I said, I love a lot of things where you can leverage creative use of items and other stuff, and so that's a lot of my jam. So this hit a lot of sweet spots for me. I also will say I love the art on the game also too. That main art piece is really phenomenal. The line work is good. There's a lot of different varied pieces, but they mesh together very, very well. We know that Brian Shutter from Neon Lords was one of the first backers for the campaign we were talking about before we went live. And I can absolutely see why it's a great aesthetic that totally matches a lot of the things that both he and I really enjoy. And so my big question is I loved that you skewed the age ranges down. A lot of times with kid games, the tendency is to go like at least 10 up, but usually like to make 12 through 18 feel like the sweet spot. And you all moved that down to like 7 to 15. Tell me a little bit about that choice.
Well, in the most comedic answer to that choice, the original concept when we were kind of, designing this game and like, smoking and throwing around ideas, it was like, well, when do you stop being a kid? And the first time we figured you stopped being a kid is when you turn 16 and you get your license. And then all of a sudden you don't care if there's werewolves in your town. You can drive out of town. You can go anywhere. You're an adult kid. Even though you still may be looking like a kid to other people, it's kind of that like area at 15 where you're like at peak pubescence and like acne riddled, like, 14, 13, 15-year-old range is kind of where we wanted it to end. And just, we say like, 7 may be young, but there's lots of precocious 7-year-olds. And when you look at movies like Monster Squad, there were 7-year-olds in that movie, you know? There's always that skewing age range in most of these movies. 3 Ninjas, there's Tum Tum. Like, there's always the kid who's the one who is the youngest. And in the game we have written where there's kind of a push-pull with your 7 to 15. If you're going to be 7 to 9, you can only have so much strength, but you can have a maximum amount of charm.
Right.
Where when you're 13 to 15, you can max your strength out higher, but you can't have a charm higher than 3. And the same thing, and vice versa, the strength no higher than 3 for a 7 to 9-year-old. So we wanted to keep that, and then keeping everything kind of centered around that 10 to 12, where most of these kids in these, games are, in this realm of kids adventure, kids on bikes.
world. So if you want to stay in that same area, then you're kind of playing the most down the center, character. You could be a 10 to 12-year-old from the cul-de-sac, who is a weirdo, or, any of those 4 classes, and you're kind of right in that Goonies Monster Squad level. But, there's also the 14, 15-year-old kid who's a little old, but probably shouldn't be hanging out, but can't, it doesn't have a license yet, so they're still there.
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
If I can add too, I want to say I think it really works to like help get players in, quickly into the mindset of the game, because you're sort of in a lot of traditional like fantasy role-playing games. You've got, sort of known quantities of monsters and sort of known kind of things you can do to defeat them, weapons you're trying to get, spells you can cast, things like that. Whereas, this game is much more about your creativity and what you can come up with to solve these problems. And I think it really helps when you're sort of saying, okay, you could be an 8-year-old fighting, werewolves potentially. It helps you sort of pull into the, okay, we're going to have to get creative. We're going to have to think about how an 8-year-old would try to take on these werewolves. So, I think that's a nice little, that sort of was part of the, made it feel right to like start from younger kids.
Like the other thing it frees you up, and it did for me especially, to like make wrong assumptions very easily, just to be like, they're vampires with no evidence of them being vampires.
Yeah.
When you said, I loved it. Like, I already knew that it was going to be a dog cult, but like, that's so fun.
Yeah, no, like, again, I at that moment was like, I don't actually think that like the fact that they went to a graveyard doesn't actually, nothing about this indicates vampirism, right? But it's really fun to be like, okay, what is that 10 to 12-year-old? What do they know? And Anubis cult is not on that list, right? Like,
exactly.
And so, but you don't feel like, you as a player don't have to feel dumb, because you're like, no, I'm making a 10 to 12-year-old logic leap, and sometimes those are going to really pay off and they're going to be amazing, but the rest of the time they're not, and they're just going to be ridiculous. And I'm going to smear a greasy garlic roll in the local hardware store owner's face. But no, I loved that. I also love, and we didn't obviously get into it, that in campaign play, it really opens things up to get like weirder and more B-movie, and like, you've lost an eye, but now you have a cybernetic implant, like, just really cool stuff mixed with one of my earliest game designs was a board game, and it's a skirmish game, and I should go back to it eventually, but your kids in the backyard building forts, and you actually build them out on the tabletop. But all the items in that are like sports gear for armor, and the things you pick up around the house for weapons, and none of them, some of them really would do damage if you got hit with them, and most of them are absolutely benign, except for that they hurt. And so then you're like you're not doing damage, but you're able to hurt things and fend things off. And I love a lot of the logic that this game embraced. We talked earlier about before we went live about comparing it to Kids on Bikes, which I think would people's kind of natural thing, which is a great game that also does like spooky, weird kid stuff, but pushes up into that higher age range and doesn't have the same 80s flavor to it. Even when you try to drop that in, it doesn't mesh so well. It feels more sanitary and cleaner, and like the CW version of a horror genre, as opposed to the 1980s VHS film version of the horror genre. And this plays and starts much quicker. I loved the town entanglements, even though we didn't do it, and that concept. A lot of really great pieces. Like I said, I really enjoyed. I'd highly encourage people. Tell me real quick. I'm going to pop the project up next to us on the screen. Again, y'all have you've already funded. But tell us a little bit more about some of the plans you have as you go through these last couple of days of the campaign.
Yeah, I mean, Oh, you want me to? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you go ahead.
We've hit our first stretch goal, which is going to expand our the guidance counselor section with lots of mainly fun rolling charts and guides like that, which everyone loves. Things like special reward tier weapons like X-ray specs and moon shoes, and those giant slingshots that you can have where it's 3 people, Our next stretch goal that we have planned, I believe, is going to be a arcade module that you can just open and run and go, and it'll probably have an arcade map in it and a whole set. And our modules, like, this is probably best saved for another day, but we kind of have these open-based module style that we're thinking where, like, we base it around a location, and then there's a million things that you can do, like, with it. I mean, or closely, like, over a dozen, If it's a video store, one of the videos may be haunted, but there also could be a special candy there. There could be something happening in the basement. Like, there's lots of different open-ended stuff. So we have an arcade module planned. After the arcade module is what, Ted? I believe it's 3 monsters.
And then the next one is 6 new monsters. So we're going to add like 6 illustrated statted monsters to the book. I wanted to just also take a minute to plug that artist from the cover is also like our main creature artist as well. Hayden Hall is his name, and he does fantastic work. So if we hit that $10,000 mark, that's get him some more work and get us some more awesome monsters. And that's kind of that goal. And then after that, 12,000 is a big goal, right? It's the map tiles. So do you want to take that a little bit, Ben?
Yeah, well, when we originally did, we were very lucky. I really thank you, and we all thank you for liking the art. We're really lucky to have such amazing, talented artists work on this book, from Hayden Hull doing the cover to Stacy Fevinger, an awesome tattoo artist in Philly, who did the character sheet and lots of the item pages. An incredible, awesome punk comic book artist who's been working for 20 plus years, Tony Talbert, did a lot of the really spooky drawings, and a super hippie, off-the-grid friend of ours, Audrey Amber Rose, did some of the awesome cutesy drawings of the little girl giving the finger while she's on the TNT, and like the beakers getting clinked together, and she just gets our aesthetic. She's one of the coolest people in the world. What we originally wanted was to have this town be actual game pieces that were an isometric view modular town, so it wouldn't just say arcade, but it would actually be an image of an arcade, and all of the images would be within the same plane. So as you make a town on your table, you're actually viewing what looks like a town that is hand drawn, like it would be one of those Goonies style maps. Cool. That it's like, oh, here's where it's all representative in the imagination. And, the only problem is we had so many artists, and they were our friends, and they gave us tons and tons of amazing art. So it was not something, we had the game ready to go and didn't want to wait. We just figured we would, give it a gamble and see if we can make ourselves, get to 10,000 where we can pay an artist. Because, we have paid and want to pay the artists that we have. A lot of that money in our Kickstarter in general is going to cost an artist specific. Awesome. Yeah. Like that's where the money is. Like we're literally not getting anything. We're gonna, whatever we can get, we're gonna print that many, copies of, and have it be that. But for the most part, we're just trying to pay back our friends that did such great work, and we'd like to continue because we have such talented friends with really amazing, work in this book. Like there's really awesome designs and stuff in here. And we would love to really bring the game to life that way. So at around 10,000, our stretch goal is to actually be able to pay an artist to give us the 70 plus drawings or whatever of all the town pieces. Sure. And then I think at another 1,000 or 2,000, we'll be able to make them color, which would be the absolute coolest of all. And we really think it would bring the light out, because when you're playing this on a table analog, the town map that you have really came to life. It does, and we realized that we had something really special there.
Cool. Well, I love it. I'm super excited to get it. I would again encourage people, go to that link right down below my face, ttrpg.link/donttellks, or later on if you're watching this, the links will be in the descriptions for the videos. Also, too, project's got another 3 days left to go. The last 3 days are usually big. I would love to see if we can get y'all over that 10K goal. So I'll be sharing it around and hopefully drumming some stuff up. Thank you all so much for coming on. Again, I want to remind everybody that we've got another actual play coming up on Saturday. That is for Flabbergasted. We're partnering with the folks over at Wanderer's Tome to bring that to you. It is an Around the World in 80s Day kind of comedic take on 1920s shenanigans. Your play is an up-and-coming social club looking for mischief, mayhem, and marvelous misadventures. Our regular on the stream, Samuel Mui, is going to be doing that. Also, if you, while you're in the backing mood after you go and back Don't Tell Mom and Dad, swing on over to Gamefound and check out our game that's currently live, Down We Go, which is a minimalist old-school role-playing game. We've also already funded, but getting closer to our $10,000 stretch goal. We'd love to have your support on that. Please go check it out. And with that said, we don't ever have a good way to end these, so we're going to wave at the screen. I'm actually going to raid us because I always forget to raid, but we're going to do that. I don't know who we're going to raid. But we're going to figure that out in just 1 minute and go say hi to some other folks. But let's wave at the screen until I take us off the air. Bye, everybody. Have a good night.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Bye. Thank you.
We'll go raid All Nerds Are Here. Love those folks. 7, 6, 5, 4. Everybody keep on waving. I don't know why we're doing that.
Still going?
Did we do it?
We did it.
All right.
Thank you so much, guys.